Real Talk is Cheap, season 10.
Episode 6.
Episode 6. Wow.
That's the one.
We got that.
6s and 7s.
Not sure why there's that.
I found out what the 6s and the 7s are all about. You know, with the South Park and the kids doing the 6 and 7.
I didn't know about
Apparently
South
on the
Park.
periodical table, 6 and 7 is HO, so it's secret code for ho.
Is that all it is?
Yeah, it's just secret code for calling. Instead of saying 304, you're a 6 and a 7 on the periodic table, so you're a ho. Yeah. So that's what the joke is.
It all makes sense.
It all makes sense once I found out the periodical link. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I feel
satisfied with my research.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
So it's like, what the fuck's this 6 and 7s, man?
It has been popping up a lot lately, actually, the 6 thing. I wonder what it was. A little bit.
So yeah, chemical reference, periodic table.
The reaction people have
HO.
to, that people have to it, like in memes, like they start twitching out.
Yeah, glitch. It's
glitch out.
glitch numbers. Get a good glitch going on when you drop the old 6 and 7 on them.
I don't know. That's the bit I don't get. It's like maybe you have like a cheek, like if it's in a high school thing, maybe you have a cheeky laughing or snickering or something, but just sort of like start tripping on it.
Yeah,
and going into some kind of, tripping balls. I don't know, like going into a repetitive, like it's
the mode, hitting the mode.
I don't really know. Anyway, that's what I found.
The process.
Yeah, well,
brain breaking brains. Don't worry about breaking brains by using the numbers.
It's a bit ridiculous.
Being triggered by a number, yeah, that is a bit ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you know, other folk have gotten into things like the whole 1111, and they've tripped on that and everything. You know? So
the special numbers, getting the the numbers lining up. I don't know. I'm done with my cooler. I'm going to crack a little apple cider. So yeah, I was happy with my research, finding out the meaning behind it, and then when I found out, initially I just went what, and then I just started laughing. I thought, I get it.
Chink. Yeah. Well, what I get is that people trip on it. But I say 1111. You know, I mean, I've seen people.
Well, it's like special numbers. You've got your special numbers, and when you see your special numbers, like the 33 or
exactly 11,
the 322, the combo.
They've ended the video. Like people, have you met people who
they've ended it on 33 minutes and 33 seconds.
It's a special way.
Illuminati confirmed bullshit. You know. Illuminati confirmed.
You know, and I mean, well, I'm not to say. Hang on, it's gone and paused itself. I think last
at a moment
it has. Maybe I accidentally pressed it on my keyboard. But yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm not saying that. Like, I sometimes have looked at a video as I was editing it and was like, if I just take off one more second, it'll be a special number. You can do that. Or you might even do that if you're in that community or you're trying to access certain markets there or think that they're a target. You might intentionally do that to trigger your market into
the wheel of conspiracy. That's right.
Yeah, to make them
roll that wheel of conspiracy. Yeah.
But then you're still being manipulated. Like if you buy into the fact that if you think that
numbers have serve any special fucking purpose.
Well, any purpose that you give them.
Well, I guess if you put enough belief into it, it does mean something.
They're all one. I mean, they're all just one.
They're all just multiples of one, or
one.
Divisible into one.
Yeah, it's just one. Like a negative one if you want to be really complete about it.
Yeah, true. You got to get both sides of the spectrum, bro.
I mean, the good old zero. Should be outside the number line, really.
The imaginary number.
Well, it's the number that spawns all the numbers.
The number of true rest, apparently.
Well, yes, it's placed in the number. It should not be the number line. It should be separate to the number line, and it is from zero that 1 and -1 come.
That's right. The beginnings. Call it the.
It sits above or beside.
The alpha and the omega. The alpha and omega of numbers, isn't it? The beginning and the end.
The zero. Yeah. Well, you know,
from zero you came, and zero you shall return. Yeah.
And I think zero divided by as you know, we've done
many of
zero divided by zero
mind-bending moments. Yeah.
1. Essentially, 0 divided by 0 equals 1. And they're like, oh no, but 1 and -1. Yeah, 1 and -1. So it equals all the numbers.
Equals both. Yeah.
All whatever you want. It's all equals.
It's all inclusive. It's a jack of the number system.
Well, that's why it's not on the number line.
Or the joker, as they call it. Yeah.
And as soon as you take the 0 off the number line, it doesn't sound like what would happen.
No, it makes perfect sense because you go from 1 to -1.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. There is no empty status. There is supposedly when the nil exists, but basically you take away 1 and then there's none.
Yeah. So otherwise you get 2, 1, and then you got to go 0.
0 was basically constructed to identify empty. No, it was created to identify empty.
Yeah, well, that's why it shouldn't be on the number line.
Yeah.
Because then that's the wrong place on the number line.
Yeah.
You know, and that's so it's either exists or it doesn't. Simple as that.
Yeah. That's why we call this X instead of 1 0. X is easier.
No way. Yeah. Get algebraic about it. Get a little bit sort of talk about the oranges
Solve
and
for
apples.
X. If I had 6 bananas and you had 2 monkeys, how long would it take the 2 monkeys to eat 6 bananas?
Depends on how deviant they were.
Or how hungry, I guess. They'd already eaten. I guess they're not going to eat the bananas very quickly, are they?
No, but they might play with the bananas. But let's say they've never seen bananas before. I mean, it might take them a while. Like how long? What's their level of engagement?
How long does it take doesn't realise that the skin isn't the tasty bit. The tasty bit's on the inside.
Well, I think most monkeys I've seen, no, they
Or
would
do
peel.
they do the fruit squish, man. They straight away, they go with their hands and they just rip it open, check it inside, that's it.
Have a bit of a squeeze with the tongue on it.
Extra protein if there's a worm in there.
And pick that in there, chew on it properly, give it like it's a special respect, not like throw it on the ground, but like totally target that little grub and then
extra protein. That's it.
And that's a real kind of respect, I think. Actually, you think about that instead of just then smashing the whole thing in your mouth like having a combo flavor. They allow that grub to have its own unique texture and flavor.
Independent of the sweet treat.
It's more of that sort of like it's more of kind of a fine dining experience if you think about the monkey like eating the
fruit's
grub.
always been nature's candies.
To try and get you to eat it and then have a reaction to it and shit it out later.
That's it. Pop the seeds out if you eat the whole thing.
That's it.
Be the little Johnny Appleseed cruising around, planting them everywhere you take a book.
Yeah.
Well, what a week. Another I purposely did not listen to the radio podcasting for the whole week. So
how'd you go? Podcasting?
News free.
I want to hear about your podcasting
man.
experience, man. What podcasts?
Awesome. Well, just, general stuff, the usual MGTOW manosphere stuff I like to have a laugh at, Yep. That was pretty good. And then
have you found them on the just the podcasty apps as opposed to the video apps?
Yeah, most of them all have their own separate stream platform system for the podcasting bit. Audio only, that's it. Just cruising along.
It's interesting. It'd be interesting to, I wonder, would you think that like an audio, no, we've already seen that. It doesn't really work. It's a different experience, huh? Because then you're in control of your content, and your car becomes a more peaceful place.
You're not being force-fed the news cycle, continuous cycle. And man, nothing changes. Like that's what I got bored with it. Like I'd already know the news Monday from driving to work or driving to wherever. Yeah, there's no news job, and then it takes like we worked out with the Shroom news that there's pretty much a 7-day cycle, and then the new news starts to flow in, but dribs and drabs. And they continually recycle that same news for the the whole week.
Well, and the day.
That's why it becomes boring, man.
There's the drop of the day, and then the drop of the day contains the continuings of the week. And if they're really lucky, they might have. Well, no, if they're long-standing things, they then divvy it up into segments. They'll call it whatever the special thing about it was this week.
How much TDS we have. Check my levels.
Check.
But
it's good it's interesting to stay off and just be your own unit. And you know what I find for myself at least that often in a pure sense, like that news is what is in front of me.
Your experience is really your news.
And the special updates come in as required. If you have to pay attention to something a little bit more seriously, or not, depending on
whether you're interested in it.
Well, I mean,
because that's a lot of it. Like a lot of the news, I'm just not interested in what they've got to say.
No, well, I think about myself too.
When you're talking about the people that chase the leather balls around or whack the balls or, hit the balls, however you want to put it, all the sports stuff, that bores me to tears.
It's a bit, I don't know, for me, most of that feels theatric. Particularly the ones you're describing. No, maybe not athletics or some kind of thing where someone's hurling themselves off something or, they're sort of like they're really trying really hard this one time. But the things, especially where they're team things, there's...
The loyalties, the loyal fans.
Well, if you're talking about this, I don't know, there's randomness within it, of course, but regardless of the randomness, I mean, they've all played with it, they've all played on each other's team. It's just
they've crossed over many times.
It's too easy to decide.
They play for one country and then they play for our country when they, play versus the world.
Yeah, it's too easy to decide. They could just sit around and just go, I'll chuck you a pass, mate. No worries. I'll be on the lookout, And it's just like it just slips. Oh no, dropped it. If you just look at any kind of error that's not a forced error, and then you assess.
Well, it's easy to gam it.
Exactly.
if you had and they do the sports betting, you can see it sometimes.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, they'll have it stacked on one play, and you'll go, they're not going to win because there's too much money stacked on it.
They're making decisions, that are.
Well, it was like the big race this week. If you're 24 donkeys that stops a nation.
Oh yeah.
That was another great example. The amount lost, how much was actually lost.
Yes.
Don't worry about how much they won.
I'm thinking about more the word transferred than lost.
Rather than lost.
Because
bank dividend in your favour, receive $100.
You gave it to someone else.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
But I love the way, you've got two types of gambler. You've got the gambler on the 24 donkeys that stops a nation race. You've got the full-time gambler who studies the horses, the running, the riders, does the whole research behind it, right?
Yep.
And then you've got the one day that 24 donkeys stops a nation. The people that choose the special name or the number or they like the colour. You know what I mean? Like they don't bet thinking about the odds. They think about, that name has like a ring to me. Like,
that's my special name.
My first cat's name, basically is the name of that horse, and I really like that, so I'm just going to put. Who cares whether it's 100 to 1 to win? I like the name,
Oh well, yeah, and even like intentionally betting for the 100 to 1.
I see those too, like people just doing all the longies. That happens pretty often as well. They just dump all their money on the long shots, hoping that one of them comes up, and then basically will refill the kit.
Yeah, it's an interesting strat. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
I mean, you'd have to look at the odds of how often they win. Maybe you'd have to sustain like 100 losses.
Yeah.
How's that even possible?
Well, it's pretty easy to get 100 losses, mate. You just bet on the horses. You can get 100 losses real quick.
Have I ever bet on a horse? I don't know. Have I been forced to by somebody? I think.
Well, I've had a bet like on the the 24 Donkey Stocks a Nation race. I've had a bet on that, but like I said to most people, I don't bet. I'm in the industry. I just don't bet on it. I know how it works too well, and I'm just like, no, I'm not. I'm going to waste my money. I'll go and waste it on fucking hookers and blow. At least I get something out of it. You know what I mean? Like.
There's a return on investment.
Correct. That's it. You see a return. Whereas you might see a return. No.
Well, or do you just they're just the people who just bet really safe though, I guess. Like maybe like some of the more of those form bettors, the people who are actually thinking about it and stuff.
Study the guide, yeah.
They're probably a bit more, I don't know, maybe they're safer bettors in a way, do you think?
Yeah. Well, they're more conservative when it comes to giving their money away.
I bet they are. They probably actually stay away from those kinds of ones because the odds get all thrown out of whack because of idiots, like people betting on names. Or what do you think of that? I'd say the professionals stay away from them.
Probably. Or if they do a syndicate thing. Like there's a syndicate, jump together and just throw all their money on a syndicate. Then they share the pain then, Share the pain of the loss.
Oh, so you can get commiserate together at your shared loss. We all
feel
lost
miserable,
together.
I'll be able to take the old analogy to the full
it was
extent.
our fault.
That's it. Misery is a company experience.
That's interesting. And that's kind of like, wow, taking one for the community. The community takes it together.
It only hurts a little bit when everyone hurts.
But the payoff is broader because you've got more chances at winning. I guess that's how they.
That's a lot of that syndicate and the lottery stuff. They basically buy chunks of numbers.
Yeah, well, I knew a guy he actually was the reason why Gold Lotto, I won't get this quite right, so I don't really pay attention to the amount of numbers, but it went from 40 to 45 numbers in Australia.
Yeah, because he'd figured out the patterning.
Yeah, well, basically, at a certain jackpot point, it was possible with 40 numbers to be able to put in using Syndicate, like all the combinations required to guaranteeably win it and make a profit. So they did it.
They had to add the extra 5
numbers. Yeah, they had
numbers
these printing machines and they got a programmer in. This guy, he gets that. So they work it out. They work out the amount of combos required to get the 40 numbers. You get a programmer to figure out the program to be able to print, to control the printer, control the printer to print on blank tickets, and then gathering all the tickets and then printing like all the entries, and then taking all the entries in a truck.
Well, these days you just do it electronically. You just have all the numbers selected and then
taking all the entries in a truck and then getting them lodged while they're like complaining, but then realizing they can't do anything about it. And then winning, and then them like
breaking even and making a profit.
Yeah, and so then what they did was they changed it to 45 numbers. Which with
the randomness,
which makes it impossible to do that. You can never,
because then you've got the extra 5, whatever combinations times the 5.
Oh, it's massive.
Extra numbers.
Like it just changes the odds dramatically. That's why that same person told me that the worst odds in Australia was Keno, because that's 1 in 100. That's like stupid. You're actually stupid playing that. Like it's not even.
I will not comment.
No. I mean, it's just so that's that one, and then
because I'm still getting the old do you know the magic numbers? And I'm like, mate, I'm still working. Do you think I know the magic numbers?
The magic numbers.
The amount of times I've heard that. Oh, you work for them. You know the magic numbers. I'm like,
there's no. The magic number is when I don't know, like
you take all that money you would have spent on betting and you put it onto something, you save it, and then you buy yourself a holiday every year. Get a new car every year number. From the magic money that you didn't spend on betting.
Like I think about how much I spend, say, on like I'm being self-medicated on things, like on medications and stuff, and maybe that's like $2,500 or something. It's not like no money. Like maybe it's beer, like whatever. Maybe it's $5. Maybe say it's not $100 a week. That's ridiculous. But it could easily be 50. So so maybe it's like $2,500 to $3,000 a year. Let's say $3,000 a year or something. I think in Australia like 100 a week's normal, so $5,000 a year. So like if you're doing 100 a week, if like you're an alcoholic, like I don't know, there are levels of alcoholism, but that's like say a bottle a night, so $50 a day. So that's $350 a week. So maybe
just
$350
on lubrication. sessions.
required. So now you're like full blown, but gambling is...
Mate, that's thousands.
Yeah.
Like it's money you don't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you're spending money that you do not have.
Yeah, you have the money to buy the alcohol theoretically. But with gambling, it's like...
Well, it's almost like freaking smokes just at the moment. Like,
yeah. I mean,
smokes is crazy.
The smokes are above alcohol. Like if you were a smoker, I guess you could, like a serious one, like a pack of 50 like a day kind of person.
50 pack, Horizon.
Yeah, classic. What would that be? That'd be like, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know.
Like it'd be $100.
$5, $6.
Yeah.
That'd be...
Because it's $40 for 20 pack. So a 50 pack would be at least $100.
I thought it'd be $80, $100.
$100 or something.
Yeah. It's either between $500 to $700 a week. So now we're talking serious numbers. So you've gone up from like alcohol, which might be like $3.50 to be full blown. That's like a full bottle of Jack's every day.
Yeah.
Which is $50, $55, $60, maybe 60 a day. So it's a 6, 7, 420.
You do the deals. You be constantly looking at
you will.
deals.
That's it. You do the deal. So you just move brand to get the cheaper one every day required. But tobacco is the next level up. That's like that kicks in at $500 to $700 somewhere around there.
Minimum
like
buying.
That's minimum buying $700 a week. Ooh, holy shit! I used to smoke, man. I used to smoke cigarettes.
Don't worry, man. Like I've had to seek alternative methods to continue that disgusting habit.
Holy crap! I thought it was bad when I was spending.
So now I'd probably spend $35 a fortnight.
Wow. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's the difference. And I was spending about $300 or $400 a fortnight because I was stretching it out, buying the pouches, stretching it out. But yeah, just got to that point where couldn't afford it no more. Not the way they want to do it.
No way.
Yeah.
So no, like
forced to seek other means.
Yes.
AKA the vapes and
exactly.
The illegal trade.
Yeah, it's crazy. So above that, like it's interesting. So I mean, weed. Let's say you like do an ounce a week of weed. So that would be like $350, maybe $250, $300.
Yep.
On
the dispensary.
If you were on the medical, it'd be like, wow, that'd be pretty heavy. That'd be 10, 30. You could probably get 50 grams out of them or get like a couple of things. It could cost you maybe like, $200, $300 a week. So yeah, weed's sort of like in that kind of realm.
Well, it's become cheaper than tobacco.
Yeah, exactly. I was just saying, it's lower than alcohol, even really, realistically, to be like an ounce a week. If you're an ounce a week person, you are baked to fuck. Like,
you're Snoop Dogg level.
Yeah, like you're just hammering.
You're schnizzled in the fizzle.
So. But that's the same as like drinking an entire bottle of vodka every night. Like you're also fucked. Like actually, you'd probably more on an ounce possibly. Like not in the same way. You'd be more coherent potentially, but you'd be doing it all day. Versus the vodka wouldn't last you all day. You'd need more.
No, and you get to a certain level of drunkenness, and then pretty much, unless you're doing the Roman challenge.
Yeah. So then I guess what about food addictions? How do they go? Like how do they fare? You can rack that up. Hey?
Shit, yeah.
One meal at Macca's could be $40.
Especially if you're shopping at bloody Coles or Woolworths these days. It's easy to rack that, $300, $400, $500 fucking food bill a week.
Most food addiction isn't like being addicted to broccoli or
no,
oats.
It's always the crap.
It's not like people buying
but if
oats.
you notice, there has been a change in the healthy stuff. It's becoming equivalent in price to the unhealthy stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you actually know, I noticed this first in things because of the dietary stuff and like let's say for example breads in particular, seeing like all of those sort of gluten-free / what else is RB free,
non-dairy,
low carb.
stuff,
Most bread is non-dairy, but low carb / ones as well, and they they were always like $7, and then the cheap bread would be like $3 or $4 maybe, and now it's $7 too.
Yeah,
same.
Yep.
Milk's still subsidized. Milk is still
pretty much. Yeah.
Milk's still cheaper than alt milk, but alt milk's ridiculous. Like I'm sure squeezing almonds takes more than it does squeezing cows. Like
true. In the extraction process for the
maybe over time we can like genetically engineer like giant almonds and like so that they're like
have little nipples where you can milk them.
Yeah, just milk. Yeah. And you could like have them live on the tree.
Reuse the bovine technology to be able to.
You just get this milking of the almond, and it just becomes these giant engorged almonds, like the size of human heads. Like imagine like other size almonds just hanging off trees, being like just suckled from like the tip of them.
Waiting, or humming, waiting for attachment,
but brimming. Well, I think this is the
Hassling
squeezing,
the farmer.
and the other end of it, you'd be pumping water into the plant. So what you'd have is like this tree with these giant live almonds, and you just feed the tree water, and then what you do is you just kind of milk the giant nut. You just milk the nut. You just get this big sort of mouthy thing around the big nut, and just wop, wop, and you squeeze the liquid out of the nut.
Massaging.
Yeah, massaging. Like an undulating. So you don't want to break it. So this sort of undulating kind of rhythmic squeezing of the nut juice, and you can just have
you've been successful when they start making the purring.
You can have like a live almonds like on the tree. You know what I mean? Like that would be. Imagine that. That'd be kind of cool.
Give them
How big do you think those almonds would become? I think like at least mango size.
Well,
maybe.
if you weren't just crushing them every time and they were allowed to grow, then they probably could get quite large.
Yeah, and like stimulated, like in a way. Like this is like we're intentionally growing, but like the larger, so we want to like selectively breed.
Bioengineering them.
Yeah, we want this almond tree to like have intentionally, like it does, instead of like having thousands of nuts, it concentrates.
Just want 2 big ones. just hanging there, hanging there in these big
almonds,
fucking nut
just
sacks,
2 massive almonds, like in their
little
special
nipples underneath
casing.
the nut
That's
sack where you can milk them.
Yeah. And then you just weave like the undulator that just squeezes the
Playing
thing.
sweet music as it's getting milked.
And just pump water into the tree.
For the purring. It's
You
acknowledgement.
could flavour. You
that
could even
the process is
flavour.
working.
Do you think if you like put, say for example, vanilla essence into the water you were giving the tree,
Adding flavour.
that it would like eventually just, it would come through, you'd squeeze the water through.
You'd give the vanilla nut milk.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think I'm seeing that's
Definitely worth exploring, that's for sure.
Yeah, look, and I mean,
those biogenetically engineering
if you think, like having worked on farms
products,
a bit,
definitely look into that one.
enough to like, my brain is very systems orientated, so working on a farm I observed certain things, and with a lot of these crops, like it is around, essentially what you're doing is you're putting water and nutrients, etc., into a stable environment, into a plant, and then it squeezes out its fruit, whatever that is, So like, for example, you can't, the fact that you can squeeze liquid, like you can squeeze stuff out of a nut, for example, is indicative of like something like a liquidy nature. There's something there. So if you made a giant
wheezing the juice.
Like, I think that almond trees are quite big. I think that they could sustain more than 2 nuts. I think you could have like
essentially 4. You get your north, south, east, west going on.
I would get
to
a few pairs. I mean, no, they're big trees, man. Like, how big are these nuts?
Well, they'd have to be fairly sizable, wouldn't they?
Well, I mean, I was thinking
you wouldn't want them dragging on the ground.
No. They're sort of the almond tree.
But they get pretty large.
They do get pretty large. Well, no, but I mean, like, but a human head or human body sized nut.
Well, it'd be easy to get the nipple things on.
On a human sized nut. Like, so you had
like the nipple attaches, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So like a cocoon. So imagine like these giant sort of cocoon shaped things almost that look like cocoons, but they're nuts. So you'd have like, okay, I think in that regard, I'd say the average almond tree could probably support like, yes, maybe in a commercial setting, almond trees, maybe like 6, maybe 5 or 6, maybe 4. Maybe 4. Maybe you're right, 4. Because I think they actually crop them a bit smaller.
Because otherwise you're having to water additional water.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that. And so it just creates the 4 almonds. And you just get
it basically takes what it would have produced in the smaller variety, and then it just, what the quantity would be, it adds all that together, and that's the size of the fruit.
The size of that,
No, it'd work.
Yeah, and you could really quite factory farm them then, couldn't you? You could have like just the 4 sucklers on them, and then the water pump. And then what if you could do them hydroponically? Just have like a line of these sort of imprisoned almond trees, just being just sort of belt fed and succulized. Just getting that, chewing on that almond. Yeah, but that's the kind of things that you find. It's sort of changing in price. The changes of price in supermarkets.
Crazy.
It really has like that. They're more expensive and anyway, prices in supermarkets, whatever.
But even though that food is available, they're still picking the garbage. Prepared to pay top dollar for air and garbage.
Yeah, look, I did a thing actually this week where I did an online shop with Coles, and I tried to shop on special. So
the specials only.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's some things that I knew that would be impossible. I had to just buy and just deal with them.
Yeah, something you got to go to the store for. Yep.
Some things are never on special. It's at the store, like meat. Like meat's going to have that special.
Well, the only time you're going to get specials on those is if you go to the butcher.
They're on cheap. Well, the meat's right now.
You want to do bulk.
But and it was the majority of things that were on special were junk food.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's the things that shut kids up.
I don't think that's why they're on special.
But no, it's not on special for that reason. But yeah, it's on special because they want you to buy that rather than good food.
Yeah, why is they so invested? Is it's more competitive? Like they're always in a...
Well, I'd imagine the good food is more expensive to produce than the bad food. Like the bad food, once you've got the factory set up to produce it, it's just you push all the ingredients in one end and out comes the other, Whereas, you've actually got to tend and take care of things. I mean, sure, there'd be maintenance for the factories, but not as much maintenance as it is for the creature or the plant.
Yep, that part of the food, food
and plus half of that shit, mate, once you put it in the packet, once it's in that packet and it's all sealed up, some of that shit, it could last 100 years because it's not food.
It's something you see, like in these kind of, they have a brand name. Yeah, Easy Marts, for example. In Sydney, there's a brand called Easy Mart.
Yeah.
And these other ones like them too, but they're the main theme of this. They're fronts in a certain kind of way, but a very complex, more interesting way. They're not drug fronts. Like they're much more nuanced, interesting business model.
Depending on whether you look at food as a drug.
Sure, that. But like if you don't do any of those kind of things, the stuff on the shelf has all infinite shelf life.
Yeah.
It's long shelf life. It's
50-year Twinkie. That's all right.
They've got stuff that they could literally just be on there for 2 years. And I've purchased things like, for example, packets of nuts and stuff from shops, and then you realize they're 6 months out of date. Like people just leave that shit because they just think it's like forever food. You got to check them. Like stores.
They don't realize that those oils can cause changes to the nut after a certain period of time, and then it goes from being a healthy snack to a deadly snack. You know what I mean? Like
snack of doom,
snack of death.
Death snacks.
Death snacks. Buy your death snacks today.
Guaranteed, no nutritional value.
Absolutely no vitamin or mineral content.
I'm inspired. I really, like, it depends. I have wavering moments. I feel overall, I'm definitely inspired. I'd like to make food that has no nutritional value. I want to.
Pure aesthetics. Looks
yeah,
great.
You eat it. Yeah, you eat it.
Tastes
you enjoy
great.
it. Yeah, but does nothing.
Gives you
Offers
no. Other than the rudimentary filling of the gut, but yeah, once the acids hit it, there's nothing to come out.
But maybe not. Maybe not even filling of the gut. Maybe it's just something which you just eat, and at the end of it, you just...
Oh, it just dissolves down to like a liquid. Or
just liquid and air.
Comes like
and you just like...
just little particles.
And you just want... Yeah, you don't feel full at all. You just need more.
Food made out of asbestos.
you just keep having to eat.
The gift that keeps on giving.
And you're just like, I taste so good. It's giving me no nutritional value, and I'm left hungry.
Left starving. Not just hungry, starving.
Oh, starving. It actually makes you...
It actually gives you negative hunger. Like it adds to the hunger. You just keep eating and eating, but you're getting more and more hungry.
And you have a
vicious
pricing
cycle.
model. You have a pricing
vicious
model which
cycle
makes
food.
it so
There
that
you
you
go.
can
That's the name of the brand. The vicious cycle food.
You sell it cheaper
You'll
at bigger
keep eating
volumes.
it, and you'll never put on weight. Like it's ultimate Weight Watchers. Never put on weight. You'll turn to skin and bones within 6 months. Guaranteed.
And it teaches you to not eat because you literally because it's making you want to eat. You've got to resist.
You've got to learn to control your hunger urge.
Yeah, you've got to. Yeah, it's intentionally
designed.
Yeah, making you hungry as a method. But of course, people actually end up using it inadvertently, and just the secret truth of it is that they're just buying it in mass volume and just eating it all day. And just
ever hungry. People would be ever hungry.
Yeah, starving. They use it. They actually use it to be able to continue to gorge.
It's actually got far less nutrients than the care packages they drop into Africa and stuff. Like it's negative nutrition. Eating it actually takes nutritional value away from you.
Oh, it leaches you.
It leaches. That's right.
It leaches.
Yeah, that's why you end up double hungry.
It actually leaches you. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, your body's just craving for nutrients, and it's stripping the nutrients and storing it and making it inert inside the material.
It acts like an immune. You know how like immune blood cells they surround.
Yeah, it will just cover stuff and then
what this does is it covers nutrients and makes it inedible.
Die around it so they can't.
Yeah, so this what this does is it
surrounded necrosis.
It surrounds other nutrients. So if you eat it and you have other food, like if you ate a bunch of food,
if you had some good food in the morning to try and balance it out,
and then
it would automatically leach the goodness back out.
Yeah. It would surround
and
that
to
food.
the full value that it was added.
It was like no other.
Like ever hungry, ever starving. Yeah.
And you have it. You make it so it gets.
You leave it at your friend's house so that if you get over there, you've always got something to eat. You know what I mean? Like you've always got the negative eat. They tried it once and they realised that it was so good that they had to give it back to you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have ended up addicts of the negative value food as well.
That's right. Just wanted to eat more and more of them, less and less. Yeah, I like the idea of
extra
that.
helpings.
Because people would mask it by eating other food and then being able to do this to like neutralise the food.
Yeah. So they could have like a
just a
17-course meal and then just eat some of this afterwards, and it would take away all the the badness from the 17-course meal. It would be like
just coated basically your entire body.
Return back to the hunger factor.
Yeah, still starved, needing more.
Everyone's going off. It's like getting onto the next topic, right?
I'm sorry. Have we even covered any of the topics?
We did waffle. Yeah. Getting on to the next topic.
We've talked about some pretty cool shit though. I think.
That's it.
Interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, we put it in the database, mate. It'll come out. $1 trillion fucking pay packet, mate.
Okay, we're gonna get onto the trillions.
I like the trillions. The trillions is good. Let's talk about trillions.
Which trillion do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about Elon's windfall.
Okay, yeah, it's an interesting one. So, declaration, full disclosure.
Yeah, voted.
I'm a Tesla shareholder. So I voted against the $1 trillion package.
I have no shares other than the shares held by my superannuation company.
I don't know how they would have voted.
Don't care.
So I voted against I voted against the $1 trillion pay package, which is an interesting thing.
Do you think they get enough? I mean, you get $1 million a year as a wage or a salary. What more do you need? Seriously, Si. How many more millions is going to make it satisfied? I mean, you get $1 million a year, you can afford your magenta speedboat and your Mimbo and your bimbo.
Yeah, if you've got $1 billion a year, even you can't buy more food or something better. Some things you probably just fly everywhere every day.
You're only going to need X amount of cars. You're only going to need X amount of wives. You're only going to need X amount of girlfriends. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that might be limited. You could if you had enough to be able to provide all the women in the world, like to be kept in the manner they feel
become
accustomed.
Your surrogates, be able to pay each woman in the world be a surrogate.
Like if you could provide, like one woman wants $1,000 a week, another one wants $3,000 a week, whatever they want. Right? If you could just do that, if you think about it, the running costs of their experience, then I think you could just have as many as you wanted, but sure, you just give them you just do that, wouldn't you?
Give them what they need, yeah.
They'd just be happy. They'd sign up. And then, I mean, and at that point, like some of them might want to have children at points, and you say, well, that would be the deal. Part of the deal would be if you want to, I'll pay you.
You join the clan, but you get a special payment.
But then if you want to have a child,
you receive the X amount of dollars per
I'll give you
month or whatever.
Yeah. If you ever want a child, you just let me know, and I'll give you one.
Yeah.
That's you could possibly do that.
Well, it's the true extension of the remote harem, isn't it?
Basically, he could become the simp of the world. He could be.
Well, no, he could become the CEO of,
the what?
CEO of the
breeding program,
the Shah or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, like, you think historically though, like about that, like the best, the women, the harem kind of thing. They had the best resources, best protected, best resources.
Yep.
All the things. There's no way that the actual person, the Shah or whatever, was like banging all 100 of them a night or something. It doesn't make sense.
No, that would. I mean, seriously, he would have plenty of business, and if anything, it would be just you'd be banging them to have more kids, wouldn't you? Increase your.
Well, that seems to be, for example, what Musk does. He just wants to have kids. So if he has $1 trillion, maybe he can have a lot more kids. He could buy like a lot of things.
When they talk six figures, what's a trillion 9-figure salary?
Yeah, well, let's say $1 billion a week. That's $365 billion a year.
Yeah.
So still $1 trillion's only 3 of those. So
Yeah,
it's not
that's
quite
achievable.
that much. It's not. So maybe $1 billion a month. So that's 12 billion. That seems a bit low.
Yeah.
Like if you're investing in like buying okay, but let's say for argument's sake,
you won't be able to buy the elite brand. You'd only be able to afford the highly
but
priced
if you offered
brand,
women on average, like let's say, so you had
you
prices.
couldn't buy the
$2,000
$2,000 toothpaste this week. Yeah.
No, well, I think women would want more than 1,000 a week. I think they would want on average. I think they would want about 2K, like 2K.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
they want their own jobs still. They'd have their own. Actually, no, they'd have their own lives and everything. But maybe 2. I think 2K.
You pick a good one. You wouldn't just go,
2K.
digging around the streets for them. Would
So
you?
2K.
You'd at least have them,
So
in a role where they
per week you
earn
got
some
5
money.
per 10 grand. So if you got per 10 grand, you got 5 in your harem. All right. So then, so about 10 grand. So we're just trying to get this right. So 100 grand, 10 times that, about 5. So you got 50. Is that right? So 50.
Yep, 50.
Yeah, 2
You
grand.
could definitely get it going on, that's for
10
sure.
grand for 5, 100 grand for 50. That's still 100 grand a week. So $1 million would be 500 a week. Is that right? I think so.
Yeah.
$1 million a week, 500. So 500, for 5,000 for 50 million. So 500 million. Where was it up to? 50?
50.
So 500,000. So no, was it 5,000? Okay, we went from 5 to 50 to 500. So it was like 10,000, 100,000, a million, 5,000.
That's a lot of checks people are going to be paying.
50,000. Okay, so for 50,000,
You definitely want to have
50,000
your own
women.
special accountant just working on paying the checks, wouldn't you?
50,000 women for 500, that million a week. I think that's right. Something like that. 2 grand each.
That's pretty good money.
Yeah, is that right? Yeah. Well, 50,000, that's a lot. So you could have, and if you,
Well, you could have kids in multiple countries.
that's
you?
happen spread out.
Spread across all nations.
Would you divvy them up? Would you maybe like try and just take over a country though? Like, would you sort of
Outbreed all the men in that country?
Just buy it. Everybody. Like, is it possible? Like, let's have a look. Okay. So, $2 grand a week.
Well, just ask the what countries can you buy for $1 trillion? There you go.
That's 10 grand because it was from 5. That's that. Here's 100. There we go. Oh wow, that's an interesting sound. That should be more of a better number. We want a better number to sell. Better number. Yeah, there we go. That's 5,000, 2,000. Oh yeah, no. I was missing one value, I think. Yeah, this is better. I thought there was a problem there.
Oh, you can buy Indonesia.
Okay,
There you go.
you can buy the whole of Indonesia.
Yeah, $1 trillion.
That's not too bad. It seems like here we go. So for $1 billion a week, which I think you got $1 trillion, you could probably generate $1 billion a week.
Yeah.
Some side for a side hustle.
Side hustles, that's it.
And that would get you 500,000 women at $2 grand a week. Fair harem.
That is a good harem. And a well paid for harem.
Yeah, I mean, you could make it cheaper. You could maybe get scales of economy.
Rather than,
force them to live in
the other side where
accommodation
the slavery thing, but actually paying them and then actively being involved. Then.
Well, they're also allowed to have their own job and everything. Like they're allowed to, they've got the whole own life. All they've got to do for the $2 grand a week is they've got to only have your child. That's the deal. So that would cost Elon Musk $1 billion, and he could then pump out theoretically 500,000 children a year.
Oof, they all get their little vial in the mail. Turkey baste is ready.
And then they get little bonuses and stuff. But yeah, he can. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, he would be able to make like effectively within 18 years, say 14 years, say
a small nation.
Yeah, 14 years he'd have, or 10 years. 10 years he'd have what's that? 5 million people.
Well, a large nation.
Yeah. So by the time they were of breeding age,
who needs robots when you got that many kids?
Like if that's in 10 years, then 20 million. So if you'd have 10 million people in 20 years, and 500,000 of them are more than 2 million of them are breeding age. If I'm what a class is breeding age, 18 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whichever the acceptable is in your country. Please check the local details.
Yeah, not sure. But yeah, so within a reasonable span of time, and then I mean that's and you've put them all through your own colleges and stuff, of course. He's already so he's
the Elon Learning Centres.
Yeah, the Elon Learning Centres.
Early childhood learning centres.
Yeah. ELCs.
ELCs.
That's right. Take them down to the ELC, best education.
Find any good ones in amongst them. The ones with the max autism. Max autism. Just fucking throw them into the rocketry.
Just gives them
program.
that particular
Get them in there early, making rockets.
Yeah. And just like connects them to AIs. So they become like symbiotes.
Yeah.
This sort of symbiote with them.
All these children have to have the Neuralink.
Ah, yeah.
That's it. The Big Daddy always has ultimate control.
You can turn the switch, make them do the thing. Well, you might, maybe that makes sense. Like if you think about it, like one of his complaints about not having. So the realistic thing is that the real thing is that his $1 trillion is actually not really that he has $1 trillion in pay. It's about him increasing his percentage of control from 15% to 25% over 10 years, or over a period of time, if he makes certain value, and that his value that he has at the moment of 15% isn't diluted because of the scale of the company becoming. So he needs to be able to. He needs to grow.
Maximize
he needs to grow with the
reign.
company. That's his argument.
Get those reins around
That's the argument. And the thing is that he will be generating a robot army. And he's talking like 1 million units a year or 10 million units a year. So at the same time as he's like pumping out these children, right? In the 20 years he'll have like, the sort of
well, they'll be able to use a Neuralink to pull in their brains to the robots.
In 20 years he'll have 10 million humans.
The above ordinary tasks.
He'll probably have about 100 or 10, maybe about 200 million robots. But maybe he perceives like this is a need of balance, where he has to like get this money so that he can invest in women and be able to then breed up like a human army to actually counterbalance against
creating his own customer base, No, seriously. Well, people who will buy the robots in the future.
No, I think it's to defend against the robots. It's a counterpoint.
In case there's an emergency.
In case there's an emergency, and he needs actually
activate all the children with the Neuralink and send them off to
fight
to battle the robot
wars. If they go rogue.
Super hackers.
Skilled, already trained, know the thing.
All the things they needed to know downloaded when they've got the implant.
That's right. Go to auto mode. Killbots, human killbots.
That's the one. Who doesn't love them?
That's what you do to defend against the robot army.
Well, it's your secret squirrel secondary.
Yeah, there's the backup.
It's the backup. That's it. If the robot army gets taken over or hacked, then you got the kids. Activate the kids.
That's it.
Press the button. All come online. Blip.
Yeah, I mean it's a scaling thing because you just have part of your cult. Because he's right. Part of the cult is just that they must breed.
Take a chapter out of the book of the Orange People.
Must breed. That would be the thing. So and it's the expanding buy-in, of the $2,000, and so as you say, it creates a whole own market. But they're just loyal. They do the thing. They know they're programming.
Well, they know if they're not loyal, he just presses the button and that's it. It's all over Red Rover.
Next, who is loyal? Pop, whoever it is. They're the special, they're the chosen one.
Could $1 trillion buy somebody's loyalty?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't actually. No, I think it would buy a performance of loyalty.
Like if you were Australia and you just gifted $1 trillion to your best pal America, that's just happened.
Yes. We just gave our
best buddy,
our best Albo just decided that
our autistic cousin from the north.
He knew best what to tell, and that he was going to tell Australian investment companies where they had to invest their money, essentially. Those investment companies were superannuation companies, and they already do invest in America. But this scale is like unprecedented. In fact, the American press releases about their perception of it was that it was unprecedented. A country coming in and putting $1 trillion on the table.
The biggest gift.
People
We've done it. The Down Unders have done it. We've
Yeah.
gifted the biggest amount
in the world. $1.5 trillion Australian. Combined with the current investment, which is about 800 mil.
Well, basically it gave Trump Elon's salary plus, an extra fucking 500 mil for Trump's troubles. Hey?
So,
transfer fee. $500 million transfer fee to get the money to Elon.
A $500 billion transfer fee. I don't know. Ridiculous. It's rude. I mean, deciding.
Couldn't that money have been spent here in Australia? That's a question you got to ask yourself. Could they have spent it more wisely down underage?
Before getting to that, I mean, the risk of exposure, like to have $2 trillion worth of exposure. Imagine different people in your life, and some people in your life. Some people who are like I know, or I can remember people, and I assume they still may all still be similar, where they're like just financially just completely wrecked. I mean, it's not like I have any money, but I'm not like I'm absolute dumbass, not like just hocking things to buy fucking weed every week or something like that.
Yeah.
So imagine you just got the person you know in your life, remember in your life, who like was always hocking things the most and all that kind of stuff. But,
I know one in particular.
You got
no names mentioned. I got
no names mentioned. You got someone in mind. I got someone in mind.
I got someone in mind. Always hocking shit. Yeah.
Always hocking shit to be able to just get the thing, pay the rent.
Always got the scam going.
Yes.
Always got the stolen stuff in a bag. bag comes over to your house. Do you want to buy it?
Yeah. So that guy, girl, whatever,
Yeah.
they're the one who wants the $1 trillion. Like, why? You know, like that's who you're giving it to. The person, because America is like it's $35 trillion in debt. So or whatever it is. So why?
Well, maybe it's to help them. Like, you know, for us to get more money from the old WB.
We're going to
Not
extend
Warner
their
Brothers, but the other WB, the World Bank, to get money from the World Bank. Maybe Australia needed to give away $1 trillion.
Oh, it's part of
Maybe we're not seeing the bigger picture here. So you had to, you know how you rob Peter to pay Paul, and then you steal from Peter to pay.
And then to be so that
Paul
instead of having value,
and Patricia at the same time, you know.
So then we take our national value and then we throw it into someone else's debt. It'll just get blown into nothingness anyway, and like less than
It'll
a year.
make a lot more people a lot more less wealthy, and make, you know, our good mates a lot more
to
wealthy.
compensate for that, Australia will then have to take out like $2 trillion loan. Is that what will happen?
Yeah. And then you can always, you know, toss in the other zeros and go,
leverage that loan. So we've now got $2 trillion.
We lent this
and then
to
we'll
them
be able to
help.
That means we've got
now
like
you can lend to us, and then when we get that back from them, we will give you back.
And in the meantime, we've got no value because we gave it away.
Yes. So if you wanted to come in and grab some of the resources, this is a perfectly fucking good time to do it.
We'd have to just give them to you, wouldn't we?
Haven't we always just given them to you, Si? Haven't we always just handed them over and just gone, look,
we wouldn't have the money.
You take what we've got, take it overseas, refine it, bring it back, sell it to us for 10 times, and make 10 times the profit. There you go. Because you never paid a thing for it anyway.
So what happens if these companies are being forced to spend like $1.5 trillion of Australian money on American projects and American companies, but to spend it on Australian companies, $1.5 trillion on Australian companies?
Well, wouldn't we have all our own manufacturing back up and running again?
You'd think, like if a factory costs even like $500 million for a factory, just like a $1.5 trillion buys a few of those.
Yeah, it does, and it sets them all up ready to go.
Like it's
even gives you some running capital to pay for the the robots or the people you want to bring in. You know, shit, we could have bought all the houses we need to get out of the housing crisis.
Oh yeah, that would just put us into another housing crisis.
I know, but I'm just saying we could have just mass created housing and then had this real issue where there was no infrastructure to support all the mass housing that we've created.
Like, an example
and all of a sudden
would be
have massive infrastructure failures, and then another reason to borrow another $2 trillion from the World Bank.
I was reading an article on Corning today, Corning Glassware. So they're doing a big investment to restart the US solar panel business, right? So they're kickstarting the US solar panel business. They're putting in like, what is it, $50 billion investment to build out this plant, and they'll be able to pump out like all these.
I want to see cross-spectrum fucking energy conversion, like X-rays and gamma rays.
Well, I mean, that's $50 billion. So for $50 billion, apparently you can build a national scale like wafer production for $50 billion. So if you've got $1 trillion, that's still like, you can build one of them. There you go, done. So the entire industry to kickstart that, like that whole aspect of it, is $50 billion.
And then just start producing and make them so cheap that you can just slap them on everybody's house. Everywhere there's some space and looks at the sun can have a fucking panel thrown on it. Dunk.
Yeah, so there are things you could do. But there's so many things. Like look at $1.5 trillion.
Revamp the entire education system.
Yeah, it's $1,000. Well, maybe there's value in that.
Yeah,
I think the education system. I don't know. That's a deeper argument.
Discussion. There's a lot going on there where it needs some major fixings.
Throwing money at that isn't just the answer.
It's just a whole
modality, the whole way of.
It's like that house you buy where it's on the edge of the fucking cliff at the sea, and you're throwing all this money in to make it all look nice.
It's a bit pointless.
Out the back, the erosion's still going on. House is going to go into the sea eventually.
Much bigger bad thing. The education system's abhorrent.
Major failures going on. We had another strike up here in Kingsland.
Oh, it's terrible. The teachers are completely overwrought. Like, I just want to be real clear. Like, I know teachers. I've known teachers. I've got friends and clients who are teachers. And the poor bastards, I wouldn't want to be a teacher.
No, it's not an attractive job anymore. Like it used to have. It used to have a certain.
Used to be cool, like you meant you were helping or something.
Honor and dignity to it. Being a teacher.
You just don't get paid for 4 hours of work a day. That's all that job is. You just don't get paid for 4 hours of work a day that you got to take home. And then you and the stress of it.
Not to mention all the out-of-pocket expenses they do too to try and make their classroom more challenging or whatever. What they contribute. You get a lot of out-of-pocket stuff where they do it just for the love.
Oh, so
and still yelled at by the parents and like, oh, it's your fault. Why isn't my kid being able to fucking read or write? Blah 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 blah.
You didn't
blah.
start teaching them when they were 2
that's
and 3.
right. If you didn't teach them early to give them the foundation, so when they got to school, they'd already know a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like have a base level. I taught them, how to read and how to, partially how to write in their scribblings and their drawings and whatever, which was supposed to be improved by the school. But the parent was supposed to give fundamentals. That's where things really fucked up.
Well, the parent
automatically thought that the school was going to provide everything, and that is not the case.
Well, before the model of schooling, all of your knowledge came from your parents, didn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Or else
right to it.
There was no system.
So it depends on whether they were actively engaged or involved.
The apprenticeship or whatever you were. might have had other things that were teachers, but the concept of teaching was around.
Yeah.
But the organized system, well, that's it had I think it had a particular function. I don't know what the relevance of that function is anymore. I mean, it's a completely needs rebuilding. But back to the thing is like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
$1
It needs a complete once over. And modernizing. We need modernizing. That's what it does need.
You know, for that $1.5 trillion, so you've got like basically $100 billion. There's your entire solar panel industry completely built out, like for the scale of 10 times the size of Australia's needs. I think that's America's needs, 50 billion. So and then you've got like spend another 50 billion on whatever batteries. There you go. That's done lithium and everything. But I think Tesla was spending around that to like build out like a scale.
Well, Netherlands has been having quite a bit of success with the saltwater batteries, so the salt batteries, sodium stuff.
Yeah, no, that totally works. I mean, wouldn't that be interesting? Like if you desalinated, like you have a desalination station that's pulling salt water out and then splitting it, so then you've got fresh water. But then out the back of that comes basically giant salt batteries. So you build these massive batteries, and you have a thing which then stores power that then is used to actually split the water. And I wonder if you could build up to a point of like a sustainable loop where basically you're pulling enough, you've got enough salt coming out in battery capacity that you've got spare capacity from the storage of the battery from like the process to then start like, so you could possibly and then you just have something which can charge to keep the batteries charged, like you have solar panels, etc.
You work them all together.
Battery, and then that does the thing.
Combination. The redundancy, bro.
It uses the batteries to like desalinate the water. Massive salt batteries. But in Australia, we can definitely we've got heaps of lithium. I reckon $50 billion would be an international grade and like export quality lithium factory. So that's first 100 billion. So you've got solar panels and lithium done for 100 billion, completely done, like maxed out, done beyond Australia's needs 10x.
Yeah, well into the next century.
So then you got 1.4 trillion left. Maybe we need a car factory. Maybe we need some kind of like maybe we could spend. What about putting 100 billion directly into robotics?
Yeah,
maybe 200 billion.
Australian robotics industry happening.
Maybe 200 billion. Maybe we could actually focus it on needs. So we could like have 100 billion focused on agricultural robotics and 100 billion on manufacturing robotics. Yeah, and 100 billion on construction robotics. There you go. So 300 billion.
Yeah. I'd like to see more of that printed house stuff going on.
Okay. So now so you want to do printing as well. So like advanced manufacturing. So we want to have we want to build out advanced manufacturing systems. So we'll do 100 billion on that. So now we've got 100 billion of advanced manufacturing, like 3D printing, like all sorts of crazy shit in all high tech. In every place, every city, you've
create
got
those
companies. You've got companies in every city that can just pump out any part you want in any metals. Yeah. And so you got 100 billion in that. You got 100 billion or 300 billion in robotics. That's 400 billion. And then you have the 100 billion, which was batteries and solar. So that's 500 billion. Okay, we've still got 1 trillion left.
Yep. That's the scale of money that you're talking about. That's right. When you start to think about trillions. Yeah,
like that. We just built out 300 billion on robotics in 3 major sectors that would transform Australia completely. Like we would be the world
into the
leaders.
22nd century.
Into
That's
the
right.
22nd century. All our like insane. Okay, let's spend $100 billion on infrastructure, like advanced railways and just private. Just go fuck
upgrade
it.
for fair. That's it.
Get the bullets
going on like Japan, mate.
Every city you can
travel.
You can work in any city.
If you wanted to eliminate fucking air travel, you make a train that goes from fucking Townsville to Melbourne, and it does it in 2 hours.
And then you can just live anywhere and work anywhere.
Boop.
Happy days. Entirely mobile population.
Yep.
100 billion. There you go. We got 900 billion left.
I know. Spending that money. I mean, come up with good ideas to drop on.
Good ideas. So that's completely.
Well, you want things that are going to make money.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So you don't want to waste it on some sculpture or some bullshit. I
mean, we probably need independence also in microprocessor. So those things, like I think
chip
the
factory.
fabs, some of those can be like
bang 200 mil into a fucking 200 billion into a 200 billion into a chip factory. Yeah.
Basically, maybe that.
Get a good one going. Get it going where the resources are, and have one of the micro refineries near it. Plonk a fucking $50 billion micro refinery next door to it. So it's got all the things that, or just pumps of stuff in one end, all the shit comes out the other end.
And what about like I say 100 billion into like starting up and building our own fusion
center?
Yeah, like fully like just go fucking tokamak. We're going to dump 100 bill into like advanced like fusion research and just like the goal to
well, you got the money.
Yeah, you got the money. I mean, fuck, like big, not
whatever you want to spend it on.
Probably the rest of it we should just chuck into space and just build out. Because you think about like what
create a couple of launch pads, good spots.
Actually, no, what you do. You just give 100 bill to fucking SpaceX and you say for 100 bill, we want a complete Starship and a Falcon factory, and we want like launch pads in here, and here.
Yep. One in Logan. That's it. Logan gets its first fucking launch.
I reckon no one. You want ones in Darwin. Like you want them to equatorial. Australia's got some real power. Like that would be.
We could have one in Western Australia, one in Darwin, and then one in Queensland. You could be launching. You could do 3 simultaneous launches at the
Because
same
the
time.
Darwin one would be good because it would be able to pull in a lot of Asian business.
Yeah, you can get all the satellite communication stuff done
From there, yeah.
No.
And just be launching. Like, yeah, so there you go. Get them 100 mil. Do that. I mean, that's we got some money left over. Probably just leave that just for the moment.
Even maybe go so far as fucking doing space retrievals.
Yeah,
like we put a lot of fucking money
research.
up into space, but we don't spend a lot of money bringing it back down again, do we?
So next year there's a launch of a tug, the first space tug.
Oh, thank fuck.
With long-term
Got to get rid of
plans
some
for
of that
diffusion.
debris. You need to clean it out so you can get better windows. All right, get rid of that debris, clean it out, get better windows so you can launch more shit.
So just to be clear, we had 50 and 50, and that was those two. And then we had 100 for transport, and then we had 100 each for ag.
And the manufacturing robots.
And construction.
We spent, I think, another chunk on.
Do you know what 200 on like advanced manufacturing, like
like printed shit.
Printed
shit. Yeah, printed in the lathe, steel and stuff. Yeah,
print advanced manufacturing.
high-tech lathe systems.
Yeah, so we've got, and then it was like, 100 billion for SpaceX facilities. So we'll give them 100 billion.
Yep.
Yeah. And then and then I already had the transport of 100 billion. That's right. We wanted, how much was it for fusion? 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, 200 for fusion. So we're at 1 trillion. We've got 500 billion left.
There we go. We're starting to spend, mate. See?
Yeah. We've got solar.
Don't give us a lot of money. We will spend it.
We've got solar and 50 billion on the solar industry, 50 billion on the lithium industry. So that's like apparently that would be smashingly massive. Like
all the
100
resources
billion on
local.
advanced transportation, 100 billion on agricultural robotics, 100 billion on manufacturing robotics, 100 billion on construction robotics, 200 billion on advanced manufacturing, 3D printing systems in every
and then
city.
just drones out the wazoo, part of the robotic. Yeah.
So we also need so then we want like drone tech, so advanced.
Well, we
don't have anything to do with cars or drones or anything, do we?
No, but I'm saying with the drone stuff, we could look at supplementing and helping the remote community stuff where, normally a truck or whatever couldn't get to. So you could have remote communities that could just get drone drops every fucking week, of all the shit they've ordered.
What about transforming Australia and doing like a Chinese scale, like massive project that assists when you're talking about the Central Australian thing? And then from, we actually dig canals and flood, like dig.
Well, that's been back on the cards again.
Yeah,
the inland
do
sea.
that.
Inland sea stuff.
Yeah. Well, we've got 500 billion left. I mean, it surely didn't cost 500 billion.
You could carve a fucking channel like a trench all the way through there and fill it up.
There we go. So we've got. So what if we spent like then in our 500 bill? Maybe if we spent $100 billion on
all the dirt you've dug out of the trenches, just make a big mountain. You could change the whole weather pattern there. Change it from arid to
what we haven't got here is like
semi-arid.
Is sort of vehicular things. So we've got the ag manufacturing, construction, robotics, but we could also build like 100 billion. Like you think about like for the 500, you could do something like that where you invested it in. Like if you looking at say the images from China or Saudi, where then they just got like not like 1 or 2 tractor things digging up the soil, but like rows of them. Yeah. There's like 50 or 100 of them just in a row. And
they don't just stay at one farm. They move from one farm to the next, to the next, to the next.
Like Saudi with the line.
You basically just hire it to come in and do the ploughing for you or the planting or whatever.
Oh no, but digging these big canals, etc. Like instead of like having 1 or 2, like actually literally having hundreds or thousands of vehicles doing the job.
All doing their own chunk. Yeah.
Like thousands, and you use that also, that move that soil to like create, like change the landscape to create like situations to
build
force
your mountains there.
Create
the mountains, build the
expand mountain systems and so forth. So
create the real flow, get the feng shui going on there.
So what if we spent like $250 billion on terraforming Australia?
There you go. Not only with the terraforming, but the total replant of all the original foodstuffs would be cool, like the indigenous foodstuffs.
And that terraforming of Australia is machine.
Because that is now a big market. People want those foods. They import that to other countries now. Yeah, they want those, the wild foods, man.
So that's so terraforming Australia, right? That's actually what that leaves us with, is not just the asset of the terraformed Australia, but the equipment that we use to do it, which would be like advanced fleets of robotic, like special
mining equipment,
like massive, like. So we've still got 250 billion. Maybe we could put the $250 billion into like foreign stock markets and stuff like that.
Investment. That's it. Make an investment. Grow some capital back.
Yeah. Investments. There we go. Yeah.
Well spent money.
Yeah, there we go. That's $1.5 trillion. What we've got from that is like $200 billion worth of fusion
sustainable industries.
Yeah, an entire space sector.
Future-proofing.
Advanced printing in the manufacturing sector. We've got the robotics, construction, manufacturing, and agricultural robotics sectors pumping out millions of robots. The most advanced $100 billion on rail and
high-speed travel between
lithium and solar.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, high-speed rail. That's it. And lithium, solar, terraforming Australia, and investments. And you can see out of the kind of the factories and systems you'd need to build there, that spin-offs. The spin-offs in like being able to build, for example, automotive or whatever else you want.
Yeah. Very repurposed.
Yeah,
repurposeful. Yeah.
Maybe that. Yeah, and you can even have that 250 billion to keep it in Australia. You could have that as an available investment fund for things that want to build small factories that are like not just industries, but it's sort of like, oh yeah, can we have $5 billion to build a car factory? Oh yeah, you know, like a gigafactory. Oh yeah, there you go. There's $5 billion for a factory, for a car factory that'll pump out like 10,000
Here's all
cars a
the
year.
access to all the different resources that have been locally sourced and provided.
Because we have all of those things, and that's the supply chains. Because to build all that other shit, that's part of that building. So there you go. We can give it to America, who is basically like our mutual, the person, each whoever they are that we've got in our minds that are just like always hocking shit and never can pay their bills and everything like that. And we can give them 1.5
trillion. Can we pay our
trillion.
Tax next month, or can we just renege on the tax
altogether?
altogether?
We can't really do those interest payments because do we give those people $1.5 trillion, or do we spend it on ourselves and like become the world leaders in just the world leading? The world leading. Simple as that. Imagine who you'd attract in that. Then who would want to come over here?
Everyone would be wanting to come.
It'd be just mega.
It wouldn't be Australia where the bloody hell are you? It'd be like,
imagine if Albo just stood across the table from fucking Trump and said, well, what we're going to do is we're going to do this. Are you, do you want to contribute any money to our investment?
Yes.
We're going to put 1.5 trillion into Australia.
These are the things we're going to invest in locally.
Some of your companies, if they wish,
secure our futures
to be part of the opportunities that we're providing to add on to the contributions if they wish.
What can you do for us? What can you do for your spastic cousin in the south? Hey?
Because China
what can you do for a good old spazzo?
Because if you invest in yourself, other people will invest in you too. Isn't that a saying? Don't people say that?
Yeah, true. True.
If we put
one of the reasons why you learn.
And you turn around to like China or an America and you're like, well, do you want to help? Do you want to put factories in alongside this? And they'd come along. I reckon if we put $1.5 trillion in Australia,
they would match it.
Yeah, I reckon they'd match it. I reckon
they'd want to be in on the deal. They'd be like, oh, hell yeah.
We would have $3 trillion worth of investment ourselves.
You've suddenly decided to join the big boys.
Yeah, that's right. You would easily double
let us guide you in our knowledgeable, already done ways. Let us show you how to do it. Let us help you, and that'll allow us to diverge some of our pollution back to you guys.
Well, hopefully a lot of those advanced systems are not that
would not be putting out that much pollution.
They have their own special.
And you think with the modernisation techniques and the filtering techniques that they'd have ways of capturing those emanations.
Yeah, because those emanations are worth money. You turn them into other things like food.
Yeah,
moisturizer.
Toenail clippers.
Baby formula, whatever. Things that are sort of you can find them derived lollies, for example. Maybe you could figure out like a waste product from, for example, your advanced manufacturing can make is really chewy and has sort of a sweet flavour for some reason.
Slightly metallic.
But you can just have that as like a new sweetener found, discovered.
True.
Cheats. It's the slag coming off the
byproduct.
Byproduct. That's right.
Byproduct, extra credit.
Yeah. But that's there's just the opportunities abound. They abound when you invest in yourself. That is. I think. I mean, honestly, if Albo came out and said that, like listed those things, and like you could list off manufacturing partners and everything. Those the fusion. There's like 2 or 3.
Give me a reason to vote in next election. That's what it would do.
Before the next election, Australia would be transformational. Like there would be just stuff happening on mass scale. Like it would be wild.
Big T man might even move down under. He'd be like, man, I want to get involved in these deals. These fucking deals, man. How do I get involved in these deals?
What would be the ROI, like from our superannuation companies? Because they're the ones who are being told to give away our money, our superannuation. So our future, this is the thing, you're giving away your retirement money to the person who hawks their shit to buy some bags of weed and they're once a week because their old mate's paying.
Sells their ass on a Friday to get that fucking crap pipe filled.
And that's who we're giving our retirement money to do the right thing with, that we're going to get an ROI on.
Shit, man. I might as well just put my balls in a tiger's mouth and hope it doesn't bite me. Hey?
Look, it's just ridiculous. I mean, and then we could do that thing. And if you put that 1.5 trillion in Australia, we can already see that like foreign companies and stuff would be chucking in another 1.5 to 3 trillion. So we'd already be like double to triple.
You'd be
already up. And then you've got all those industries going. Well, there's just jobs and shit and everything fucking maxed out to the max. You'd fucking max.
No time to sit on your ass watching fucking Days of Our Lives, mate.
No, man. It's off to fucking
you'd be just
the
like,
mega factory.
hang on,
Well, geez, I'm pumping out like some advanced new thing today. I've got to do my thing. Like that's like the return on investment there would be monster. You'd be like supplying whole freaking industries.
That's right.
Yeah,
we've regenerated. There we go.
Darwin would just have like rows and rows of like freaking container ships lined up, just exporting crap out.
Bloop.
That's what would happen.
Be the new financial hub of Southeast Asia.
That's it. Trillions of investment and all in industry, just all in like max industry, not crappy.
And clean industry. Oh, I love that sound.
Clean industry. And all mandated, like just it's got to, and because that's all private money, like none of that, because that's all from the superannuation funds, right? That's private managed money. That's not all that investment you're mandating. Because that's the other part. Remember, it's not government money that we're sending over. It's
well, I'm glad I grabbed out my teeth fucking money there.
Yeah, because it's
you know what I mean?
Like, I want to pull
basically
my money
out. Our crackhead cousin's going to get it.
That's right. I've got to start looking at Australian companies and figuring out which ones to invest in here.
Yeah.
And other markets potential.
Putting the money where the mouth is in the local environment.
I think perhaps in the local investment, seeing who might block a little tinsy bit of spasming freaking benefits here. But unless there's massive investment, like that's the scale, like that would be, I think from an Australian perspective, that would be quite, that would be out. Well, most of that stuff can't be human. It must be like systems, because we just don't have that enough. So it would be about systems.
Not enough manpower.
Yeah.
But once all that infrastructure was there and the availability of jobs, I'm sure they'd be turning up and we'd be you know,
Oh, well, you would be doing them as you were doing
printing
them.
those 3D Adobe homes, bloody, you know,
Yeah, look, it's
10 for nothing. Yeah.
It's interesting to play with it and just think about like the scale of like those kinds of things, you know.
The transaction, yeah.
Of
Yeah,
1.5
and that is
trillion.
big dollars you're talking about.
Yeah.
$1 trillion.
Yeah. That's it. 250 billion left for investments, and you can put that into like say like five. So $5 billion things. So like you know whatever that is, 10, 50 things. You can invest in 50 like things, which will be like $5 billion kind of scale things. Let's say
Well, you'd call in brains. You get a brain trust going on as well, and
that'd be all like
start getting them to reinvigorate the education system with new courses and new technology stuff. Revamp.
Yeah, thing which like designs all the education courses required to like power all those industries. So by the time like they've got the things, you've got people already coming through the pipeline.
Yeah, you've already got your knowledge base coming out of the pipeline. Exactly.
Australians would start breeding. They'd be so inspired, wouldn't they?
You'd renew confidence that there was opportunity. Because what's happened right now, we've gotten to that point where all these big financial firms are investing in properties here and not allowing people to own their own, and it's just taking away security. As soon as you don't have your own place where you can do your own thing, you stop breeding.
You do, hey? Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, it is completely related to resources, the lack of the breeding. You can't barely feed yourself.
I mean, others breed for different reasons, but majority of people, when they've got sense about them, they don't just have babies without resource to support the babies.
No, you'd have to be guilted into it generally. It's not kind of driven.
Forced attrition of maturation. So I'm glad I grabbed that money out now. Get the old chompers going again.
Better have your chompers.
I tell you what, it has been an experience going from getting the moolah to getting the work done.
What journey, hey? What's your update this week? This week was
updates is went
back to get checked out, eh?
Well, went back to get checked out after initial trying to fit the mounting clamp bracket thing that goes on your gums, right? Because the top part went fine, like it clicked in fine, and she was able to take the impression pretty quickly. But the bottom one, because I've got I had bloody 5 teeth taken out, and there's quite a bit of scarring, and I only just had the stitches out as well, and she just couldn't get the bottom to click in, and I'm feeling around, and every time she pushed down, I'm like, it's hurting just here. And she's like, where's it hurting? And I'm pointing at the parts I'm talking about, right? And it's where teeth are removed, and she's pulled the skin so tight to stitch it that it's, that area is like totally white, right? Because it's just, I'm having to, massage it just to get colour back into it because it's stretched so thinly and tightly. So really there's recovery time that needs to happen. So, they called me back in again. They sat me down, had another look. The actual dental surgeon came in and had a look, and she said, no, you've got to recover for another couple of months before we're ready to do the plate. Don't rush it, But yeah, she was awfully embarrassed, the other technician.
I remember you were saying, we even did a thing about it, that you were concerned because you had paid for 8 teeth. Yeah. But while you were waiting, because it took so fucking long.
Well, I was trying to get the money organised, 2 had fallen out. That's right. So really there was only 6 to be extracted.
So what did happen? Like you were wondering what was going to happen, and then...
Well, I went in there and she took the 6 out and then tried to charge me for the 8 of them and slapped an extra $190 charge on top for the dental surgery. And I just went, what? I felt insulted because I'd already given them all the money. When she did the extraction, I'd already handed over all the coin.
Yeah, because that was an agreed amount. Yeah. Then with special bonus extras of $190, just unknown. Yeah. And so did you talk to them
extra
about
stuff that I didn't ask for or should have been included? Like if you're going to extract 6 teeth in a row,
think there'd be some surgery.
You'd think that the surgery would be included in that, wouldn't you?
You'd think.
As part of the extraction.
That's what's happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
So did you talk to them about that?
I ended up showing her the picture that I took of the teeth that she removed, and I said, you do know how to count, and she looked at it and then saw there was only the number that she actually extracted rather than the 8 that she proclaimed to extract. And I went, well, look, those 2 teeth are worth $100 each. There's the difference. There's your surgery if you want to absorb the cost. Rather than charging me extra, I had to re-explain to her, and I think that hurt her feelings because she didn't want to talk to me anymore after that. And I even showed the young dental technician working with her the evidence, so even she knew that there was a certain level of grift going on.
Did anyone acknowledge that or sort of apologise or at least shiftily look their eyes away or anything?
Well, she did. The dentist. She definitely couldn't look me in the eyes after I pointed out the truth. They get that special mode where they can't look at you anymore. Because you're one of those people that see things and recognise stuff. Don't just get what's the word for it? Bamboozled. You don't get bamboozled by our bullshit. Repeating a thing, don't make it a fact. Evidence is what makes it a fact. And, I had evidence, she had no evidence, upper hand achieved. And I wasn't boastful or prideful about it. I was just like, hey, look, I'm not going to deny that you did great work, but here, this has been overlooked, Let us not overlook the obvious.
Yes. Let's invoice correctly.
Yes, let's do the invoicing correctly and adjust quote accordingly. That's right. Yeah, true. Else we get misunderstandings, and I'm not a person that likes misunderstandings because people get very confused and sometimes can become quite violent when there's misunderstandings. They feel like they've been ripped off or cheated is another good word for it. People don't like being cheated.
I had a tinsy version of that this week. So,
Well, it's like everyone's just trying to rip you off. Like everyone's got a fucking grift going on, mate.
once again, I went into like an Easy Mart. So in the store, I went and I looked at the, and have you noticed this trend, like for example, in shops?
They overcharging trend?
Well, also where there's no price.
Yeah, we don't have a price for that, but it's
when you scan it, it's this much. It's you can't pre-plan. You've already taken it up there.
Yeah.
But, so I looked around and it was like it had a sign: all Australian cans, $3.50.
$3.50.
So I bought a Coke Zero, Australian Coke Zero,
$3.50.
$4.
What?
I'm saying, no, I'm like, it's $3.50.
Not advertised.
And he's like, well, no, that's like, I'm like, well, no, your advertised price.
That's the American brand Coke that we've got, the imported one. How can you tell the difference?
I can tell the difference. It's easy to tell. They're different. Well, they're made in different places. So he's like, no, it's $4, and I'm like, no, it's $3.50. And then I said, oh, hang on a second, I'll go get the Australian. I went back straight to the thing, and I tore off the price very carefully, like make sure I had, and I wrapped it around my can, and I brought it back, the can back, and I put it there. And it was wrapped around the barcode. I said, oh, here you go, I got a different one. And I'm like, no, like the price is there. And he's like, no. I'm like, no, that's illegal. You've got the advertised price of $3.50. He's like, oh, it's not me. Like, oh, it's the boss. I'm like, if your boss is a cunt, you don't have to be one. It's not your responsibility to be a cunt to the boss.
Yeah, true.
And then he tried to still like stand up for this boss, his alleged boss.
Fucking hell. He was probably the fucking boss.
So what I did was like right there, like we're just looking at each other in the eyes. I'm being quite simple about it. I'm just like, the product's $3.50. You're going to be putting $3.50 through. And he's just like, no. And I'm like, no. Well, shall we get the police? And then I just grabbed this whole thing of lighters that he had there on the thing. I just pushed it over. And so we're just looking at him. I'm just like a cat. You know, like how cats will just knock something off the table.
Don't you touch that glass on the edge of the table.
Well, I did.
What?
And I just knocked it over. But enough to put it down. I said, are we going there?
Are we going to go
there? Are we? And he's going to pick it up. I said, shall we call the police? You don't call the police. Maybe we should make it so.
Get it all legal and stuff.
And then he just put it through for $3.50. That's what I had to start knocking shit over in the shop.
Enforcing.
To get the price, the advertised price.
Just to get the actual advertised price.
To get the advertised price. It required knocking something over in the shop.
Insane, man. Insane. Well, it's like this 7-Eleven. Like I buy things there and I see their specials, right? And then occasionally I'll take it up there and then they'll charge me. But they don't charge me the full price. They charge me more than the full price. And they're like looking at me to see whether I recognise the fact that they've overcharged me. And I'm like, how much was that? And they're like, hang on. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, sorry, the wrong code. And I'm like, yeah, you got a little special code there, you know, my tip code, where I just throw on an extra couple of fucking bucks for every cunt buys. And next thing you know, I get the wrong one.
Thank you.
It's fine, but also work weird.
I'm in the middle of the chat. So yeah, like I've seen them do it, and then obviously renege once I put them on the spot for what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Occasionally I'll just let it fly, and I think to myself, like, that's why, like, everyone is fucking trying to grift or scam someone else in one way or another.
Yeah, and you've got to constantly be on the lookout for it.
Constantly on the outlook or the lookout for the fucking people trying to fucking take a few extra bucks off you.
Oh.
But you mightn't think, it's not much. But when you add it up over the whole week and that prick's taking $1.50 off you every time and knows that he's fucking scabbing extra money off you, you know, just because you're in a hurry or whatever, you know, 95% of the people wouldn't say shit. 95% of the people wouldn't say shit, sorry.
Cafes do it all the time. I had a cafe do it to me a while back, and we did a bit about it, like I was talking about that. Went in there and they had the price, I ordered the thing, and they charged me a different price, and and then
it's just fucking rude. To me, it's just fucking rude. It's disrespectful. I'll put it that way, all right?
Oh, awesome.
You know, playing with my money is like playing with my fucking emotions, Smokey, all right? That's the point we've gotten to. Well, everyone's on edge because you don't know who the fuck is the next cunt that's going to come along and try and rip you off.
Basically, in this regard, is that, exactly. We don't live in a safe environment. And
constantly on guard.
The driver.
Constantly on guard for some fuckwit or cunt.
Steal your food.
Fucking stealing your shit.
Something packaged on the counter gets stolen, robbed everywhere. Yeah. Let's say you go into a shop, scam pricing.
I can see why people fucking start sticking their own fucking barcodes and shit on that. You know what I mean? Like, come in and scan for a cheaper item and try and scam them by sticking a barcode over top of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the old,
you know what I mean? Like, come in and you scan the super cheap items, like the, equivalents, like a tomato sauce, right?
Yeah, you just slap the barcode on.
All you do is just stick a sticker of your barcode on there of the cheap price one on top of the full price one. Then when you scan it, all you're doing is scanning the cheap price one.
Yeah.
To get the full price, special edition.
Oh, it's pretty
you
easy
can see why people scam that crap. You can see why they, scam back. You know what I mean? They've got to come up with more inventive ways to be able to fucking get what they need for their, weekly fucking whatever it is, calories or, their satisfaction. So they're just robbing now and just take what they want. Like Melbourne's a perfect example for that. But cunts just come in there, armed with fucking machetes and just help themselves to whatever the fuck they want. And then, they're saying can't get robbed 3 or 4 times a day.
But the thing about it is that the robbings are they're not, I know, I'm just going to say back, and it's not quite right, it's not quite the right word, but they're not back and forth. They're not like,
no.
Because the person who's robbing, making the person...
At the till by paying extra.
Then the shop you go, or the person feeling aggrieved and robbing Woolworths.
Maybe they're feeling like it covers their
The person
fucking
who is
the
ripping
pricks that
them
come in
off,
and steal shit.
the people who are ripping them off, they don't have access to, and so they rip off Woolworths. What I mean is like there's a chain of ripping off going on.
Yeah.
You know, and so there's no one
From top to bottom, essentially.
People's begrudging or belligerence or that, you know, I'm justified in stealing from this person because I'm trying to scam this person because I'm getting fucked
Because the
over.
government steals from me.
Yeah,
They
it's
take my
not the
tax
same
money.
person.
You
It's
know?
like this person robbed me, so I'm robbing him back about it. it's like it's the follow-on with the robbing the robbed. There's a chain of robbing all the way down.
Yeah, the Robin Hood chain of deception.
Well, yeah, it's weird. Like, and what people, you know, like, or
Hello, come on, cuddle time.
people will try and scam Woolworths on like cashews because they're expensive, while missing the point. But it's actually on some other product that Woolworths is actually ripping them off on.
Yeah.
But the cashews might be reasonably priced. It'll actually be some other area and
Where they're getting the max benefit from.
Yeah, they'll happily be
Well, they
paying
shift
for
it
that.
around. Like when they put, because they're now in charge of not just retail food, but they're in charge of petrol and gambling and all these other things, man. All they do is transfer the ripple. So when they put the price down on something in those shops, all right, they put the price up on something else that they know you've got to get, like fuel.
Yeah.
So they have their little sales week. And if you look at it pretty fucking closely, and you'll see it, like you don't have to be a smart person to see it. When the prices are down at the shopping centre, like for the groceries, or they're doing their specials week, the price of fuel goes up to cover it. They do
So that the
You'll see
aggregate turnover is still...
It's still the same. Still aggregate turnover, exactly the same. But they've dropped the price on that, so they push the price up on this. When the specials go away, the price of fuel comes back down, and the normal prices go back up. So they're always getting their money.
But they make you feel like you're winning in this loop.
But really you're losing at the Bowser, or you're either winning at the shopping centre and losing at the Bowser, or you're losing at the shopping centre and the Bowser. Very smart. And then they picked up all the rest of the fucking marketplace. Both Coles and Woolworths have gone straight into the gambling market and the ever emptying pockets of the fucking pokie machines.
Just trying to extract every dollar out of the Australian pocket for less and less return, like giving the Australian less and less things.
Yep. Meanwhile, all their corporate, the fucking shareholders and everybody else, they're laughing, rubbing their hands together. Suckers. Well, the last couple of shops I've done has been Aldi.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that's because I'm filling up the cart with it. I can do a $300 shop at Aldi and have a full cart, or I can go to Woolworths or fucking Coles and then get a $300 cart, which is a couple of items in the bottom.
Oh yeah, man. Like I fill my backpack with $50 worth of food, but I wear like just my normal size backpack. Like just
that's $50.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I've been shopping cheap at Aldi, and I'm glad that they've got that. Well, Aldi basically became the Jack the Slashers. Remember Jack the Slasher?
Yeah.
And the other, those super no-name brand, Franklin's, and had a few of them. They came and went, didn't they?
There were ones that were like regional and state-based ones, and then Franklin's was an attempt to sort of make a bigger version, sort of mainstream version of it.
And now we've got bloody, what is it? The American, bloody. Oh no, but I'm just saying that if you want to bulk buy, you go to bloody, what is it? Costco.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Do the Costco. Yeah.
Is it really that much cheaper?
Get your fucking big cakes and whatever. No, it's not cheaper. It isn't.
No.
All right. And when you sit down and you do the maths, like, sure, if you're one of these, prepper types that likes to bulk buy and fucking, have enough toilet paper for the next 20 fucking years, sure, you might make a slight cost saving on going through a bulk sales, venue or outlet. But really, unless you're buying in bulk, you're not saving shit.
Yeah, I don't know. No. And I compare
That's
prices.
what Costco's designed for, is you come in and you buy, 100 units.
Oh, yeah.
And then across the board, if you had to pay for that over the whole year, then you might save money.
Yeah. I mean, Australia, besides Aldi, Franklin's, IGA's
you can go to look, the Franklin's and the Safeway and whatever else we used to have, basically they've become they've converted or they've been picked up. IGA is one of them, but the food outlet, like the cheap donation food, they've become now the new version of the Safeway and the Jack the Slasher, because they basically get all the hand-me-downs from all the big places that are verging on when they're going to go off.
Yeah.
So you'll get cans and foods and things that have an expiry date of 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like it's got a 2-week expiry date on the food.
And this is like Oz Harvest and stuff like that.
Oz Harvest and other charities. That's right. They've become like that. So you see, because you still don't get it for free. You still got to pay something, but you get those items which essentially got two weeks shelf life.
Once the well-to-do and then like their helpers, their hirelings and stuff have had their turn,
had their feed and got their allocations. That's right.
It. Then
the rest goes off to
want.
It's the stuff like when you see that Christmas. The one thing that digs me in the heart, right, is when you get that fucking box out the front of Woolworths or Coles or whoever else, where the food drop box for the poor people. Can you spare a can or whatever for the poor people, and you do the food drop box? You look in there, right? You take a sticky beak at most of them. cavemen,
Yeah.
it's fucking canned peas or something else, like canned beans or, goulash stew or, things like that. There's never any chocolates, lollies or anything else. It's always cans of the stuff which is like, you know what, I really don't need this can of fucking beans. I'm just going to put it in this fucking receptacle here so it looks like I'm helping the charity. But I'm just going to give them this fucking can of beans that I didn't really want to buy anyway. So, it's pretty cheap. It's only about 99 cents. So I'll throw that in there and I'll look great because I'm helping.
So you think it's just the thing that was just like all of the cheapest specials, so it's just skilled?
Yeah.
I find that the main thing about those boxes is there's very little in them usually. Like there's not, like the helping's low.
No one's giving anymore. Like in the old days, those things would be chockers and they'd be moving it out the back to swap them with another empty one. But now, like you look at it and right up from, when they start advertising Christmas, which is now, like fucking 3 months out or 2 months out, advertising the Christmas crap.
Yeah, once Easter finished or whatever.
Yeah, as soon as Easter was over, basically go straight to Christmas. From, we talked about last time, the chocolate to chocolate, you know what I mean? Like the ever-loving, all hail fucking the Lord Diabetes bullshit.
The Halloween, Easter, Christmas chocolate.
Yeah. From one to the next, to the next, to the next. Yeah. You wonder why there's so many fucking dentists out there.
Wow. I mean, I think their suicide rate's pretty high.
Yeah. What amongst dentists?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I've heard that.
It'd be pretty hardcore.
More than one. Yeah, it's depressing, I guess, just being inside people's gross mouths.
Having to smell that stinky breath all day.
Oh, my God.
Oh, fucking nothing to turn you off your breakfast quicker, would it?
Yeah, they're just this harrowed life of just bad breath and rotting things and shit.
Angry people.
Angry
pain-inflicted people.
Rotting
angst
and goop.
More shit rots in their mouth.
Yeah, it's gross. I wouldn't want to be one.
No, hell no.
And they're not even taken seriously. Like if you think about them as a medical profession, it's not like they're considered, but they might do a surgical procedure, but they're not,
Well, didn't dentistry come from glorified blacksmithing?
Sounds
like back in
reasonable.
the day, like the old blacksmith was the one who yanked the teeth out. So essentially it's just a fucking offshoot for blacksmithing, Shoe the horses, pull out a tooth,
They're smaller versions now.
Same tool as you're pulling out the horse's nail with throw the next fucking horseshoe on it. This is the same thing. You're pulling the dude out. A bit of whiskey to sterilise it, and then in the fire, and then in your mouth.
Feel that bad too. Pain.
Rip out the acre.
Yeah, well, I mean, we would have got to some pretty desperate needs, wouldn't you? You just tear the fucker out with this gaping wound, blood coming out, fucking trying to heal yourself. Yeah, I mean, you can see how like lifespans were quite shortened. Besides like advanced anything, like just the passing.
Hygiene has been one of the things which has increased the lifespan rather than killed it. I mean, over hygiene kills your life anyway.
It does, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but having a certain level of hygiene certainly prolongs it.
Yeah, it's a suitable level. It's totally reasonable. Totally reasonable.
Caveman, past or present?
2 hours, 7 minutes. There we go.
That's it.
Good.
Through.
Getting those. Before we do that, let's have a little. I'm going to go down and get a refresh of my liquid.
You're doing the munchies,
2
mate.
hours.
All right,
Well,
2
yeah,
hours.
2 hours.
All
Two
right,
hours.
okay.
I've got to go get.
I'm gonna look for snacks. Snacking.
I want to get some.
I did buy some Twixes. I got my own personal collection at the praising of
Amazon supermarket.
Yeah, did some shopping today. Went to the local hospital. I spent $120 and had two bags. Fucking local Woolies.
Bag B. I don't get it. I find Woolworths is expensive and not healthy.
I do look for bargains.
They don't have like sugary. They usually have less sugar-free things. They have Coles. Like Coles has a better range of.
Yeah, it's more helping.
Yeah, more helping.
Chucky goodness. Yeah, boy.
Don't want to go too far out of that.
Yeah, I was happy with the last week's catch-up concert stuff. Some good ones in amongst it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in that last match there, the two of them were sort of kind of good and kind of had a bit average and sort of not.
Some were average.
Good, and then the weekend was a bit light, and the fourth one was all good.
But it's hit and miss a lot of times, especially when you do multiple styles. Like it's either going to work or it isn't going to work.
If you mash styles together, make fusions.
Which I've been doing, so. I try to pick similar genre.
What ways doesn't it work? Like, does it sort of, will one become dominant over the other, or does it just sort of, or do they just
Pretty
collapse?
much, yeah. One becomes dominant, yeah.
It doesn't know how to merge them.
Well, it's still learning. Like it's gone through, since I started using Sonar, it's gone through like 3 iterations. So I imagine the next one's going to be,
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I was actually thinking about that yesterday, and which ways things might go. And I was pondering how they might start having also like particular bands, like they might, instead of so that you can have it the same, like so you can have an album all with the same sounding people.
Yeah.
So
Well, you
kinda
can create, what was it? Hang on, I'm just looking into it now.
So like a collection of musicians essentially that you can kind of.
Well, you can choose a gender, and where was it? There's another way of actually going in there and going a bit more advanced and saying, look, pick this particular singer or persona. There it is, persona. So you can create personas, and then with the persona, you can use the persona to do the song.
But then you can use the same persona.
That's it, same persona and different styles.
Caveman, past or present? It's an interesting one. Look, I was out today. I was in this. I was in a food court, And I was looking around and I thought about the whole structure of the building and how other places have been like, and where you can kind of go from that straight down into an underground thing through to the train station, connect through to somewhere else, half underground, pop out here and there, you know.
The mole people.
There's this kind of era that we talk about, like where there's like, oh, there were cavemen and then we moved past being cavemen. It's like as if that was like sort of, but I think we live more in caves now than any time in history, surely.
Like we're inside a dwelling or a delta more now than we have ever been, yeah.
Because it's like say for example, this whole evening, I've been, you know, sort of since I got home this afternoon, I've been inside. Well,
You've been inside the side space.
There was no food in here. You can't, you know, it's not like I've got a special indoor chicken ranch or something that I harvest from. Or like a lot of our, we have the ability now to be like that because in a lot of ways, it's weird, but I don't think that it's fair to call our ancestors cavemen. Maybe like nomadic hunters or something like.
That maybe used shelter, but the majority of the time they just slept out under the star.
You slept where you were, and you know, you had little places around the fire, near a tree. I mean,
certain reach of the river where you know that time of the year there's salmon or some particular fish variety.
You just lie down on the grass nearby. Maybe a little roll or something you lay down. Get a little bit of a blanket going.
Some skins you stitch together and a couple of sticks to hold it up. Yeah,
that's more like it. It's a bit of range. Like that's what you see. The history of a human is.
We have portable basically dwellings.
Also, there just isn't that many
caves.
caves.
That can come down and
like if we were required.
The majority of times caves had stuff in there. You had to be a defender.
You had to
like
keep
if you took over a cave, you had to defend a cave.
Otherwise,
yeah. Whereas you know, shit gets bad, you just pack your shit up and you move along. If you're a nomadic type, tribes person. But if you were living in caves and whatever, then you'd need to have resources close by that were all year round. That would allow you to say, look, I'm going to be a cave dweller because I've got water, I've got food, I've got these things, I've got those things, I've got all these other things here available to me in this one spot. I'm going to plonk here.
I still don't think you would have necessarily lived in a cave. I mean, by the time you're like cruising around, being able to choose stuff, make such complex decisions as about I've got enough food, etc.
Yeah,
I suspect you're able to, like you said, get some sticks and put some grass over it. Like you probably build where you were.
Move some rocks into position. Stack rock, mate.
You'd stack rocks.
Yeah, frames in there to hold things in place so they don't fall down. And then you put your sticks across to put your roofing on, which is normally leaves or something, with, as waterproof as possible.
There's simply just not enough caves. I don't think there's enough caves to make sense that you could have like vast populations kind of breeding and growing and merging and carrying on with caves, where the family units would work. Like caves don't really work.
I think they probably thought about caves initially, and then once they realised they had to fight the bears off to get the caves, then
also, like if you're in a cave, let's say I'm the bad people. I'm coming over the hill. You're
I'm coming to get you in your cave.
Yeah,
what's the easiest thing you can do straight away? Well, you're in the cave.
Yeah,
you just start a fire at the front door at the cave.
No, you're fucked. That's the end of you. You're done. I don't have to worry about that.
Smoked out.
So caves are dangerous.
Yeah,
traps. They're traps.
Got to deal with all the creatures taking shelter in there.
Yeah, but you can probably use to your advantage and just eat them. That's fine too. But still, as you say, you just get burnt out. People just set fire to you, thinking you're all safe.
Yep. So. Basically, you've created your own little tomb. Exactly.
Just block it up.
Yeah. Cause an avalanche up the top of it. Yeah. All the rocks laying down the bottom. Can't get out.
That's it. And then heat the rocks up. And then heat the rocks up. Like set a fire on the rocks. Get them nice and toasty. Yep. Just to help you inside. Just really think about matters.
Outside, waving the smoke in. Building the heat.
Like the worst idea ever, really, isn't it?
It would be foolish enough to be cracked.
Yeah, it'd be emergency shelter at best. Like when you're passing through somewhere, and you're like, okay, chuck it, smoke whatever's out there.
Smoke whatever's in there out.
Yeah, eat it while you're surviving.
Build a fire outside, cook it.
You survive the rain, the thing. Moving on.
The event.
Yeah, because as soon as you're settling, you're sitting down, you've just got so much more to do it. Not need a cave.
Yep.
Right. And any kind of cave that actually means you're like not an overhang, that's not an overhang or something. But overhangs are different, I suspect. Like you've got sort of like an overhang.
You got more open sides.
It's a big veranda, kind of thing. Probably veranda, it's good. But as soon as you go beyond that, let's say you're trying to do it with defensive measures, like they say, like to not be seen or hide out. If you have to be in an unsafe cave, basically, like where you're trapped, or it could cave in, or flood, or anything.
Well, there's only one way in, one way out. So essentially, that creates a choke point anyway. Unless you found a cave with an exit, some sort of a,
But and once again, at the point where you're stepping out to dig your way through to make one, we've already got enough skill to not need to live in a cave.
Yeah, true. Because you'll be putting up the timbers to support and all that. So essentially, you've already started building a house.
Yeah. Like, why?
No, it makes no sense at all.
None. I mean, there are some places in the world that are quite standout, notable places where, like, the side of a hill was turned into, like,
a fortress or something. Yeah.
But they're standout things. They're not like the norm. It's not the world seems coated in the events. We were not living in goddamn caves much. No.
And if anything, you'll find that quite cave dwellers that did exist in them were living in very harsh places where being out of the sun was probably essential, or spending at least amount of time in the sun was probably essential. So, the caves were the cooling thing. They were escape from the heat.
Like, well, also maybe where they were so, I don't know, maybe tropical or something, or it was very hard to build, housing or something like that. But maybe that would inspire
It was getting washed away or whatever. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm just getting mesmerized by this truck for a moment. I lost it every second. Whoa.
The B doubles.
So why? So I think about why we've like moved towards becoming cavemen, and I think
Why we return to the whole being caveman. Yeah.
well, I think that's because a lot like that we don't need to go out of it. We don't need to make food.
We don't need a hunt.
We don't need to hunt. We can just go to one cave and bring back stores from that cave to our own cave and keep
The
them.
other cavemen are brought to that cave.
And manufacture
In
giant
caves with wheels on them.
Yeah, wheeled caves. They come from
Wheeled
giant
caves.
cabinets.
Mobile caves.
We build giant caves full of things and tiny caves full of like all sized caves in giant collector caves, and then and manufacture food inside them, inside the caves.
Yeah.
With venting in things, complex venting, etc. So we don't suffocate inside them.
That's right.
And then we ship them in our, as you say,
Super
our
sophisticated fucking air conditioning system so that we don't expire from bad gases from too much carbon dioxide.
Yeah, and all the other chemicals from our food production and everything else. Yeah, you say, yeah. And we scurry.
If anything, we become advanced cavemen. Eh?
We even like are concerned if our food is in the element. Like we will protect the cave-made food, the food made in caves that we picked up from the cave, transported from cave to cave in a cave on wheels, and then we'll get a little mini cave, and then we'll put
To house it in.
to put the food in the mini cave, carry it to our other caves.
Abode.
Yeah.
And then we remove it from that cave and shove it into smaller caves inside our cave. All right? Caves that can keep it cold and caves that can store it so that small animals don't get
And
nibblies
potentially
on it.
miniaturized
The caving experience.
container-sized caves, like little safe little nooks that we just tuck
No
the
longer
vinyl.
just a little cutout in the side of the cave where the cold thing with the mud.
It is the Russian.
The mud lid that goes over top of it to hide your special, brontosaurus steak.
It's the Russian dolls scenario of caves.
Yeah.
A cave and a cave and a cave and a cave. There are so many caves.
Each cave is like another smaller hug every time,
And it can store less and less. What's this all about?
So yes, we are definitely more caveman than caveman. Shit, we even got little caves in our pockets where we put our fucking money and our cards into.
Portable caves.
Portable caves that go in our cave pocket, because our pocket is a little cave in itself.
Little
So it's caves,
mini
it's like
caves.
caves, like you said, it's just total Russian nesting doll going on.
Crazy. We've doubled down on cave. We're almost like autistic. Like we're obsessed.
Hyper obsessed on caving.
Obsessed cave dwellers, just trying to make smaller and smaller caves for everything.
Well, how do you like even our levels of surprise? Like you take a gift and you put it inside a little cave, inside another cave, wrap it up in like an outer shell.
Yeah, true.
So there's multiples of levels of cave you need to break through to get the item. That's a present.
And, that is interesting, isn't it? The maxed out.
And it's all to do with what's in the cave.
Yes. The cave itself is often, some caves are. The caves are
Well, even
valuable
clothing
themselves.
is semi-cavey, right?
It is.
Because you're covering yourself and stuff.
It's a portable cave. Like you think about that. Like
It's a fabric
hat or
cave.
It's a fabric cave.
It's a fabric cave.
A flexible cave. The cave you can wash.
A contoured cave.
A contour. Yeah.
To your body requirements.
The cave.
Some people like loose-fitting caves. Others like tight-fitting caves.
They do. Yeah. They want to be right. Just really like the little cockroach, just squished in on all sides, feeling nice and safe.
They want it to look like it's painted on. And I saw a lot of that this week down there at Goldie. Just incredible amount of paint on clothing. And it's just, no imagination whatsoever. Like I can see the goods. Like the goods are just there.
Like as the body moves, you can see, for example, like all the dimpling. I was actually thinking to myself that the only thing I didn't know was,
it's amazing how much
example,
that fabric gets eaten by the flesh. Like the buttocks and the crotch area tends to eat a lot of that fabric. Like it's definitely, there's real definition going on. You know what I mean? Like there's no disputing the parameters. The fabric is almost eaten by the arse or the
that's what I mean. Even like I said,
camel toe.
Even like say for example, dimpling or cellulite or whatever, like the texturing of that layer is reflected through the fabric.
Yes,
like
even though it does tighten and pull things together, it still reflects whatever the
like the texture
underlying texture is.
So as a person's moving and that shape changes, it's totally visible. Like it's just trippy. Like it's
well, it's nakedly.
The only thing you can't know is like where the freckles might be positioned, if they're like a bit somewhere or not.
But you definitely know whether there's fur or there's not fur. Like where fur is present, it's more a VW bonnet shape type configuration. But where there's no fur, there's definitely total camouflage. Like it's just one or the other. You know what I mean? Like you know the furries from the non-furries.
You do.
Yeah.
Even with underwear or whatever, it doesn't make a difference. It probably makes it worse. It makes it stand out more.
Yes.
Nothing else. It's a strange result.
But look, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not going to be one of these people that goes, no, stop it. Like I'm quite happy with the way it goes, the way it's working.
Well,
but if you want that, if you don't want them to know everything about you, then maybe you dress a little bit more demure, right?
Why? That's the puzzling bit. Like, Why do you want
to show it all off?
And I mean, but is that where we're going? I thought about this previously.
Well, I guess if it looks good, you definitely want to let people see it.
Look,
you know,
okay.
I mean, that's the whole reason why you work out so hard. It's you
funny.
want people to check you out, don't you? You know what I mean? Like that's the whole reason why you have the six pack or the the super tight buttocks is because you work it.
No, but the thing is that the people who are wearing the things that you're describing, and it's not related to whether they've worked out or not. That is not the criteria of a person who's like, I
need to show everybody everything.
Because because the person who wants to show everyone everything can look like any configuration.
Yes.
Never worked anything out except this how to like maximize
getting into the outfit. That's right. Yeah.
And still wearing it.
Getting into the outfit was probably the biggest workout that they did all week.
It can be an all sorts of configurations being shown.
Yeah, squeezing all that flesh into the outfit was probably the biggest workout that they.
No, it doesn't bother.
Well, I guess it's just being body proud, isn't it? Like it doesn't matter. Like you said, the configuration doesn't matter. It's just being proud of what you got. You can tell who's proud because they're prepared to wear the risque outfit to show how proud they are. A lot of people, either they're looking and they're gawking really hard and they got that sheepish grin on their face, or they're 2 steps away from dry reaching. You know what I mean? Like it's either one or the other.
Well, but then so I attempt. So I've been like I attempt. I'd like to say look at women or men. Be seen as attractive. Men though, women might do that, but men in general, I don't know. They don't put a lot of effort in general.
They're not big effort makers. No,
they don't look. No, and also just they just don't. Like women, I think do go to the gym. They do things. They are like, but men, I've started to like. If you go like, okay, this is a little. I know you're into women. You're not bi or anything like that.
No.
But still, I challenge you next time.
No, I still look at men. Like I still see how they're dressed and whatever else. Just because I'm not attracted to a man doesn't mean that I don't admire the way that they dress. You know what I mean? Like,
well, here's my question though. Like I go, now I am in a place where there is like men who do put an effort in, so they are around. They're here, right? But the bulk are not those men, and
no,
they don't. I think that.
But when you're earning tradie money or earning good money, do you really need to put an effort in?
Yeah,
you reckon?
Well, I don't know. Well,
because I see a lot of them girls going for the tradies because they know they got the money.
Well, I think beyond.
So
you
could be there in your fucking high vis, mate, and you've still got some Sheila cracking onto you.
It's not about the high vis. I mean, it's not even about clothing combos. But the physical bodies of they're dumpy. They've got like I don't know. Yeah, men are not like they'll be the way that they're overweight. Like I don't know all of it.
Well, we've been trained not to take care of ourselves. It's only been the last 20 years where men's facial products and other skin stuff and treatments and things have been readily available to men. Prior to that, if you started putting makeup on, you were seen as being a weirdo back in those days.
Cleaning yourself in any kind of particular way.
Yeah. Taking care of your face or being, overly protective of your hand skin. You're like, oh, what are you, fucking some girl? You keep putting fucking vitamin E on your hands all the time.
Yeah, but there's
what I mean? Like it was always been a, what are you doing the poofy thing for? It was never seen as actual self-care.
No.
Yeah, it was always like, oh, you're being a poof,
Yeah, exactly.
Can't you handle a bit of fucking grease and diesel on your mate?
A lot of the clothing doesn't like show the male body in a positive way either. Like it's just...
No, well, it's not designed to be that way.
I don't mean a sexual, like just not in a positive way. Like it doesn't show off the asset. Sometimes it can, but yeah.
Well, I've always had people remark about my shoulders. Like, you've got big shoulders. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, that's right. I'm part of that whole, was it upside down fucking V thing going on?
You do.
Big at the top, small in the middle, big at, lumpy in the leg, top leg division, and then down to, the 9-inch clodhoppers.
Wow.
Or size 9 clodhoppers, I should say, not 9-inch. Don't want to overestimate or nothing.
Size 9s, yeah, there you go. But no, this meant that I think a lot of you look at women and you look at men, even so you look at the men and women together. So in theory, a man and a woman together, that must mean that they're both kind of good something, yeah. And the man will not look as good. Like you'd be like,
Do you think it's about putting effort in? Maybe.
Yeah, it is about
like the amount of effort that a man goes into being ready to versus what a woman goes through to be ready. Because I know a lot of time, like when they say for me to get ready, it takes me 15 minutes.
Yeah,
15 minutes tops.
It is clothing. Like, it's clothing.
Because I basically just get in the shower, washing everything, get out, do the preening, the checking the whiskers, that sort of crap.
But a lot of
get
that
the hair
stuff,
brush, underarm. I'm not putting perfume on. I'm not putting makeup on. I'm basically just got basics.
Also, just weird body shapes. It's not just about that. It's also just weird body shapes. It's like very much like maybe because of a lack of kind of breasts or other kind of curved shapes. But then if a man doesn't have
fill space or whatever,
then if a man's kind of lumpy or blocky, there's nothing to kind of make that lumpy or blockiness still have a shape.
The guiding.
It still just becomes.
There's no guiding in the men's fashion. Yeah.
Well, no, not the fashion.
Women have
literally the body, right? So let's say you're a bit overweight. Let's say you're like 20 kilos, 10, 15 kilos overweight. So not that unusual in the world.
But you're carrying a little bit something.
So as a man, the way that they kind of look, and they'll flump along. So they'll have these. They kind of like they'll flump. Like you can have women who behave behave that way. But the point of it is that I think that also because of like other additional shapes that a woman has on her body, that it then makes even that extra 20 kilos or 15 kilos look more curvous.
It can be disguised in the fabric.
No, not the fabric, like the body itself.
Oh, the proportions of it and the way it's filled out. Yeah.
Yeah, because then it still has a curve. Allows it to look. Yeah. It becomes a block. It becomes like a chunk. A chunk.
Yeah, the chunk.
And the chunk just becomes, and then they dress to the chunk, and then it just becomes this. The cloth kind of flops there.
Chunk maxing. That's it.
It's chunk maxing. Yeah, and then they'll be kind of a bit pallid in the face and floppy, and like the hair, like even the hair, like so once again presentation. But a woman the hair might have a bit of a curve or a bit of a something that sort of attracts the eye or does something.
Yeah, she's hitting it with the hairspray to make sure it all stays in one place. Yeah.
Just because it's a bit longer, just because you're allowed to have long hair because that's a bit more normal. It just has a bit of bounce to it, just because. Where then the guy just chooses this kind of short haircut, but then it makes his face
the standard issue, short back and sides mode. Yeah,
more blobby and kind of non-moving. It's sort of these kind of postman pat sort of
create a rigid structure more than a flowing thing.
Yeah, and
women have the flow going on. And the men
there's
don't.
There's not a lot of kind of aesthetic, like natural aesthetic appeal. I think to the average male, it's like when I'm trying to say that you go out, if you were counting like who looks like hot or not, it's just a lot of men have just got a giant.
And you can tell when they put an effort in. When there's an effort put in, then you can tell. That's right.
But it requires.
That's why you get a lot of comments, Si, when you go out because you're dressed to party.
Sure, and I think it also matches. I think you just got something like having some matching clothes, like
consistency.
Women
consistency in the look, rather than the mismatch. Because a lot of men love the mismatch. They wear the fucking the shitty old t-shirt with the jeans or the they got the runners on rather than the nice shoes and maybe a nice shirt.
Exactly. Yeah. Which doesn't help. Like, and if you have,
I think they're probably choosing comfortable.
Yeah, but if you
women don't always choose comfortable. They choose the look. No, they choose the style.
It's also
right?
what's available. It's just what's available. It's just
what's just been made. Men get issued fucking comfort wear. Yeah.
Well, except in the work environment, then the clothing can be pretty burdensome. Well, not like high vis shirts.
Oh, I know. I wear a uniform, bro. I got top and tail, and even company issued boots.
There you go.
They take care of all the look. That's it. The jacket, the umbrella, everything's got the company logo on it, so they know who you work for. Yeah. I got a free umbrella just recently, and we got free jackets too. I got a brand new Hanley Hanes.
Oh,
yeah. It's got the corporate logos written all over it. But
Helly Hansen, you mean?
Helly Hansen. That's it. Sorry. Yeah.
I love that gear.
I got a free Helly Hansen jacket off him the other day. Like, oh yeah, for all your good work. And I went, no, it's not. It's promotional that you couldn't get rid of, right? Got to walk around with the promo gear on, right?
We pay
every little free bit of advertising counts, right? That's just the way it works.
Product placement.
You got to know who you're working for.
I actually saw a good thing about the Chinese company using AI real time in a video streaming workload.
Yep.
That was identifying in the streaming video
slackers.
No, potential ad spaces or product placement spaces. So not just like a designated green screen area where an ad could go, but like recognizing, for example, a can in someone's hand or a coffee shop or whatever, and being able to rebrand and like redo. So the person's drinking from a different brand, like the point, or like the thing in the billboard or the whatever, or the that kind of level of and so sort of perspective or wrapped on the surface or label brand change. So they were doing that in real time, but the AI was then able to do
like
that.
overlaying.
Replacing that part of the video feed so that you see it with the
new advertiser.
Yeah, the new advertiser, the different. So
rather than being the cup of fucking,
the original, so that the property,
so
for example, the movie can keep selling the ad space.
Yes, so infinite ad space.
And that the ad could be more modern. It could be for this year. It could be currency.
That's it. This is the Starbucks version of the movie rather than the
exactly.
Yeah. And all the coffee cups have the Starbucks logo added to them.
Well, that may be in Australia. The rights were for whatever.
Hungry Jack's coffee or something. 7-Eleven coffee. So every fucking cup is 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. But due to the way the AI works, and it's in its real time nature and the incoming single stream, they're actually able to then insert per stream. So then the ads I see in the movie I'm watching on my laptop versus the ads you're seeing
differ from that. Well, they're catered more towards your personal selections. Just reminding you to go and get that that cup of fucking Trader Joe's coffee.
Yep. You're watching Indiana Jones and seeing like the beer is the current specials that's available or whatever.
Yeah. When he holds it up, it's got the Corona with the little 50% comes up above it. 50% off. Quote this fucking purchase now and tap the cup now to purchase.
Yeah. for 50% off. Whoa.
Blip. In movie ads.
That's it. And like in live, like intentionally planned, like put in and real time adjusted, like real time synthetic.
Imagine that you got the new movie, and you know all the cups in the original that was showing in the screen are just all blank, right? They're blank and ready for advertising space, and then you get the different companies to sponsor the different drops or the releases of the DVD or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, tonight's version of the Justice League, you know, is sponsored by Starbucks, and then every time you see a coffee cup, it's just got the logo on there. You know.
Yeah, and even that's what I say. Like you can even have it so that they didn't show like people with aprons, etc. But they did show, for example, where the outside of the Starbucks became like a Gloria Jeans. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whichever other coffee shop decided the makeover is required.
Yeah. That's some recent Chinese like AI, like real time in workflow kind of
nice
tech. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, and you can see that also playing out in game spaces where you have just dynamic.
Well, it'd be nice to have a movie where you you get handed a little pad or you access a website when you go into it, right? And then as it's going along, you get selections on what choices you'd like to make, like build your own fucking adventure type thing. That'd be cool. So you get a poll from the audience watching it. Oh, should the hero win this battle and then save the princess, or should the hero have a terrible fall and the anti-hero or the villain has a win, and but then it's short-lived because the hero then gets back up and and you can go yes I want that, or no I want that, and then depending on how many are polled in the cinema would be where the next part of the chapter of the movie would move to. Like have it customizable.
Yeah, I think so.
So the hero and the villain both die, and the heroine runs away with the bartender, the cute little bartender at the end. You know what I mean? Like you can just make it up, have a total different ending, like completely different,
totally.
Customized for every different viewing. You know what I mean? Like
the versions of it,
all the possibilities.
I want to see the Top Gun where the Americans lose. Where Tom Cruise dies. And,
that's right.
And he's like, there's a big funeral for him, and and the loss of such an amazing pilot. Like the other pilots stop for the day as well. The other side like stands down. They're like, no,
and Maverick just bawling his eyes out, turns up to the funeral in a dress.
Well, the other side is like trying to, they want them to attack. They're like, the Americans, they've stood down for the day because of that pilot, their ace pilot you shot down, and Maverick's dead, and you so you have to attack him, and all the pilots refuse because they're like out of respect for him. You know what I mean? We shot him down. We must give a day of peace. But this would win the war. They would lose our dignity.
What good is honor if you don't retain it?
And that ensues the beginning of the robot wars, because they just like they just bring out the fucking drones and go and do it on
triggered. Said no, bug you. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah, fuck yes.
So the whole story is just two dudes, two drone piloters, in their bedrooms one in Shanghai and one in bloody Colorado. You know what I mean? And the whole thing is just flicking between the two of them, trying to outmaneuver each other with
thousands of
drone
drones
vehicles.
AI supporters,
the battle of wheels,
which has got the best logistics and like overview of the battlefield to be able to know what to do next. Text is being evolved somewhat real time. Try and
AI evolving the next level of drones pumping out of the station.
The countermeasure versus the new implementation.
Well, we covered a few topics. That's good. See if we can get one more in before the ending, eh? What, we got half an hour or something?
No, we've got like 8 minutes.
8 minutes? Oh, that's not much time at all. We wanted to talk about the exploding Atlas space cockpit. Yeah.
Well,
maybe next time.
Let's have a look. Let me just do some X's here. Let's see what we got. And because we started pretty on time, like we've actually been, we've done good.
We kept consistent. We had a couple of little dead air spots, but otherwise, consistently chatting.
We did a good piece on scamming. We didn't do the government dependence one. That's a big topic, actually. We shouldn't do that.
I think we cover that next time.
That's a really good topic. And
it is, and I think that needs to be definitely a little background, a little bit of digging.
We go through the 3 parts of it and we think about it.
No, we got enough.
Look, let's talk about the ridiculousness of that. I don't even have to make it like Atlas. I don't do the news, but people keep mentioning.
People have become your news service.
Well, just some random people mention Atlas, because it's, and I keep thinking that maybe the story had finished. But no, it's sort of like it continues on. There's like, I went behind.
The conspiracies grow.
I've heard all sorts of things. I've heard, for example, that different coloured gases coming out of different places and firing and like in sort of
like
thrusters. And with various news articles supporting this, that the Japanese actually have got like high res information that they actually
that picture you sent me, the dark picture of the peanut, space peanut, space peanut, mate.
That's doing the rounds. Is apparently the resolution of the Japanese. We just don't have that resolution. I don't believe. I mean, maybe James Webb does if it pointed out and it was close enough.
The right spot and the right time. Yeah.
But that's more resolution.
Zipping by. Well, they were talking about it exploding, breaking up into pieces and exploding was another one I heard.
Really? While it was still around the other side of the sun, or what?
Well, once it did the full roundabouts and then shot past us again. Basically, it fell to pieces and then started exploding. Whether or not that's true. Yeah.
Falling apart and exploding?
Yeah.
Like rupturing?
Yeah, like coming apart and then things coming out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, bursting.
Yeah, so not just the coming apart, but the things that then burstings.
So the releasing of the
that's interesting because
nano swarm.
Yeah, that spreads shit. It's quite the strategy. Maybe
it's like space transmitted diseases.
Yeah, that would be the way that you just send like a bomb basically into a solar system and then it releases.
Drop it off. Yeah. It'd swirl around there and infect all the planets.
Sends its own spores.
I've been practicing. I've played Spore for a long time. I tell you, I know how to upgrade. It's all about eating the other person.
There you go. Well,
you become what you're eating. That's it.
The Cheep has had plenty of conversation around the eating of other things.
Alternate meat. We've had plenty of conversations about the other white meat. That's it. The other white meats.
So if we have to eat these aliens, is what you're saying, to sort of gain their powers, and it's going to be like is it sort of more like a?
You have to get them while they're small. Once they get big, mate, there's no smaller on them.
Right.
Get them while they're small. That was always the trick. Pick on the little ones first, and then make your way up to the big ones.
And you've got to eat them. You can't just kill them.
Yeah.
You got to do the
when you eat them, you gain their abilities. You know, like they got extra legs. You can have extra legs now.
This is the thing. So I think that like if Atlas is going to like release
evolution through consumption,
it's going to like change our evolutionary track. So we sort of like start being able to consume each other through like this alien spore. It's an interesting. It would be basically introduces an entire video game sort of structure to our reality essentially, where you get to level up and eat other things.
It's eat or be eaten, mate.
Eat or be eaten. And then
back to basics.
A lot of humans would fail immediately, I think, just at the squeamishness.
Yeah.
You have to just
unable
really
to
take
cross
on
that threshold.
And is it like a falling rain of spores that just lands on planets?
Well, this again, I've only just heard that it had broken apart and exploded. More than likely tomorrow I'll find out it didn't, because the way the news works, they say something and then
it didn't so much explode as it was actually different little spaceships that took off.
It all split into its components. That's it.
It's
each
like
of the different vessels suddenly detached from the main transport mechanism system.
It's a mecca.
It was just dropping off the Autobots.
Yeah. More evidence of that being like a STF1.
The best meme I saw of it was that that big cone looking thing that was in one of the early Star Trek movies. It's like this big giant space cone thing, which just shot out this huge beam. Anyway, it was quite funny, the meme for it, and it's like and had the whole the Borg coming up shooting at it, and then like it doesn't get hurt, and then it turns around and shoots the Borg, and blows the Borg up, and like all the Borg start running away from it. It's like no.
Like I mean I don't know. Like the most outlandish rumor I've heard.
The rumors, rumor mill
is that,
and it's been grinding, man.
Especially
with that scientist Arby or whatever his name is, that's been spruiking the damn thing. Yeah,
but there's actually been bipartisan support in America between both sides of government to keep the government shut down so that NASA doesn't have the resources
the evidence
to be able
of
to
the alien spaceship that just visited.
They can't announce it because they don't have they're financially denied.
We'll be able to announce it once they're leaving the solar system. Threat aversion, or averted, or as they say, what is it? Threat level averted.
We can talk about how that whole world was actually saved by the greatness of
Space Force.
They
got intimidated. They flew past.
You didn't know.
And the Space Force was up there ready to kick their asses if they came anywhere near the planet. Yeah. So they did the big diversion right around the sun and then came around the other side, away from the Space Force threat, trying to avoid. And then like whimpering tail between legs, scurrying out of the solar system. All thanks and praise to Space Force.
Yeah, and praise to Space Force. We're going to introduce them now, and here is some footage.
Yep, here are the heroes and what they did.
And what they did. And here are some footage we prepared.
Blew it up. They did what any good American Space Force would do.
Yeah.
They launched every fucking available missile that they had at it and blew the fucker up.
And that was blowing up because we blew it up.
You got a nice little light show in the sky for a couple of days after that.
We want to thank. There was like our
especially the big T-Man for upping the actual Space Force budget.
Because if it wasn't for the T-Man,
if it wasn't for the T-Man coming along and upping that budget, we wouldn't have been able to blow that thing up like in such a spectacular way as we did. All right.
Yeah, and that's
so all praise Space Force. Yeah,
we'll have there will be a game and a movie of it
to accompany it. That's right.
In 2026,
AI generated.
We'll
get it done so quick. It won't be a GTA 6 flop and fucking release it here, release it there, release it anywhere.
It's missed its deadline, hasn't it? Completely.
Yeah, it missed the deadline, and not only that,
September,
it's coming out on fucking PlayStation first, and it'll be only available on PlayStation first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they done the deal.
Managed it.
They did the deal. So PC players, you're going to be 2 years waiting until it's fucking out on PC.
So maybe they couldn't, but maybe that was it. They couldn't get it all done, and they just had to go with. Well, that's not weird.
Well, there's other rivals like that one I sent you. You know, the anime type game thing.
The thing about that was that. Okay, here's the question. Okay, why, if you're releasing on iOS, you have written it. You can release it on Mac with fucking almost no effort.
Antia, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you release it on Mac? If you're releasing on iOS, release it on the fucking Mac. And the same with Windows.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some different licensing.
What the hell?
Why
Why
no Xbox?
Seriously, what the living fuck?
And Windows, but no Xbox. If you're releasing on Windows, you've released it on Xbox.
Xbox. What the fuck?
Why?
No, I hear you.
Like, I've never had an Xbox, and I never will. But still, like, there's no reason not to. It's the same platform.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It's a circle jerk. That's what it is.
It is.
It's bring it out on platforms where they know they've got fucking whales on, and they can make big money from it because they know every whale's going to buy it, and they're going to spend $100+ on it because it's not going to be a cheap game.
Oh no.
The last I heard was like 120. Mate,
well, I mean, I'd have it with an ongoing subscription that comes out with like a new chapter every 6 months or 3 months. Like there's a new release. Sort of promise a story, like so the whole game ends up costing like $250 or whatever. You know, after you've bought the span each one of the
ends up being the best gotcha of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha, best gotcha.
Real Talk is Cheap. Season 10, episode 6. I mean, I just wanted to say, like, I'd
like to say thank you to the two new subscribers to the Cheaping.
Oh, just
we jumped from 79 to 81 now.
I was impressed when I logged in today.
A little bit of an increase after I complained, but you know,
to reality.
We seem to be going through that dip, even though we're providing information at the same rate we've been doing it.
No, well, I'm not complaining. You're getting distressed?
No. I mean, we're not earning any money yet, are we? It's only for the love. That's what we do it for. So thank you for joining.
Thank you for talking. Let me go to the outro.
That's it.
Real fucking sheep and the rest. Just walk, sheep, sheep, sheep.